Number one, I have turned my communicator.
Hand grenade pins are not that complicated. You just pull them out like this. No way! Uh-oh. Shit! Heaven ain't that bad this time of year. Who says we're going to heaven? Do-do-do-do-do!
All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Thursdela Thursday. This is your host with the most that likes to roast marshmallows over an open floast. Hebrew77 here, along with Sagittarically Speaking. And with us tonight is the ever so awesome Keith's Dad. Woo, woo.
Oh man, talk about Triforce of Power, the Wisdom Edition.
Right? Yeah. Well, I tell you what, guys, I got a new toy.
I think we got a new name. Triforce of Power. Yes.
Ooh, no. We are the Triforce of Power.
Yeah, when you come up with something better than that, let us know.
We could be called Cubed because we're the power of three.
That just sounds a little too much like Charmed for me.
Yeah.
And which one of us would have to be Alyssa Milano? We'd have to fight over that.
Oh, no.
Because I'm not being no Alyssa Milano.
So it's Thursday.
Yes, and it is a fiery Thursdela Thursday, my friends. We have all kinds of interesting stuff to present to you guys tonight. So I hope you're buckled down.
Stuff.
Yes, and I hope you're buckled down, ready for some, what is it? Thursdela breaking action. Yeah, that's what we got going on.
Thursdela breaking action.
And I hear Bone Breaking Action promote your wrestling event this coming Saturday, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he did. Yes, sir, indeed. I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and show that clip of his promoting our show, dude.
Yeah, I think that would be an excellent way to get the party started, so to speak.
I just love his voice. We can just play that first 5 seconds over and over again.
Oh boy. Yeah, let me find I know I sent it to you, Saggy.
Yeah, it's in Hangouts, I'm pretty sure.
All right. Here we go. Okay, hang on. And I like the music that he used there, too. That's the same WrestleMania wrestling music that I think I used. And
so just to make sure that I set the record straight now, we are about to play, we're about to do a reaction of a promo that Bone Breaking Action made of us promoting his channel on Taco Tuesday.
Wow. Yeah.
So just so that you can make sure you understand the infinity loop here.
Yeah, well, it's he took the time and effort to clip out my voice of that show and put it to I'll just let it speak for itself.
Yeah, no, and I'm gonna say one more thing, and I'm gonna let it rest. Okay.
All right.
What if he makes a reaction video to this video?
Oh man, that would be a triple infinity loop.
Yeah, but I digress. Go ahead, my friend.
All right, can you guys all see this?
Sure can.
All right, let me know if you have trouble hearing it. We're gonna watch it more than once, so. All right, here we go. Here is Bone Breaking Action Channel with the WrestleMania promotion. All right, here we go.
wrestling is real.
Wait a second. I missed something. Hold on.
Now, is that you saying that right there?
Hold on. Let's play it one more time.
Bone-breaking action where wrestling is real.
Yeah, that's me saying that.
Oh, I thought that was bone breaking action.
No, that was me saying that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Was that intro badass or what? That was made possible by Hebrew77. His channel is Hebrew from Eternia. And you're going to want to go find that. Because this Saturday, he's bringing WrestleMania 5. And it's going to be the shit. In the comments, I'm going to try and leave a link to the Saturday night's main event he did leading up to this WrestleMania. You're not going to want to miss it. And if you've watched all my matches and you still need that wrestling fixed, then go to my playlist and find
Playtime Wrestling Federation presents some more action tonight here at Playtime Arena. We got a one-on-one.
Oh my goodness.
it's WrestleMania weekend. And we all know this wrestling shit's pretty mediocre nowadays. They let the great Khali and the fellas in the Hall of Fame, for Christ's sakes. But with these 3 channels,
We will make wrestling great again.
I like that. That's good.
Breaking action where wrestling is real.
Man, he's
You
got
know,
all the
This
he's
is,
got all the lights and all. What's that, Sadie?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
this is taking your YouTube channel to the maximum right there. That is an example of somebody having a YouTube channel and doing the most with it.
That setup there is that his arena?
That's it. That's all his stuff. After.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, bone breaking action. That is some next level stuff you got going on over there.
I like all the light. Like he's got all them lights and all of the just, the text that's scrolling across the screen. I wish I had thought of that. I'm a little jealous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I tell you, he's got all light. When I first started doing this, I had those what do they call the disco lights going on. I don't have any of those tapes anymore. The wrestling recordings, though. I burned all my tapes, and but that was really good. That's really good, man. I like his.
Yeah, I
his
want
whole
to see you guys do a collaboration. I want to see how that turns out. Somehow you guys need to figure out a way to put your heads together and produce something as a collaborative effort.
What you could do is have Hebrew record all the pre-wrestling interviews, because he's fantastic with the voices and he just looks great on camera. And then
he needs to definitely be one of the live commentators too, with bone breaking action. Like if they were simultaneously like commentating on a fight, that maybe if they take one of Hebrew's old movies and did redo the audio or something. I don't know. I'm just saying it would. I'd like to hear them in real time live together. You know what I mean?
I tell you, if I had Bone Breaking Action's permission to take one of his videos and then dub over it, and then I could do some commentary and then take have half of my commentary kind of match up with his.
Well, no, you guys just need to get a StreamYard together and then
that's what I mean.
That's
what I mean. If I could have permission though to copy one of his videos, and then I'll take out the audio, and then me and him, like one of these days, we'll get in StreamYard together. Yeah, and we'll both do a commentary.
Yeah, that's what you need. That's what needs to happen. Yeah, for sure.
Let me tell you, he does some awesome stop motion work. But I want to listen to this voice one more time. I can't believe this is me, guys. This cannot be me.
I know.
There's no way. He did something to this. He did some enhancement. Had to have. Check it out. Here we go.
Bone-breaking action where wrestling is real.
Man, that's just
it's really good.
Yeah. Better than what I give it credit for. I tell you what, let's ask him the big question. Did he do some kind of enhancement on it? Because it really does sound enhanced, doesn't it?
Yeah, he ran it through some type of filter, but
Yeah.
the raw footage was good, and that's what makes it. The enhancement just enhances it. But if it ain't good, it ain't good. Even if
Yeah.
it's just like polishing a turd if it sucks.
Right. I mean, right. But no, I mean, yeah, he definitely.
Breaking action. Where wrestling is real.
Yeah, he ran it through a filter. I could tell. But man, I don't mean to pat my own back, but damn.
I got to work on my wrestling voice because everyone's got to have their certain wrestling voice. Let's see. When I get Hebrew in the ring, I'm gonna make him do his homework. I'm gonna get him with a pen, and he's gonna do his algebra.
Well, he's saying there's not been any enhancement done. Wow, that's
really
wow. That's awesome, dude. I'll have to do another sound bite for him one day.
I don't know what my wrestling voice would sound like if I had one. Let me think for a second. Like, I don't know. I think I would want to be like, Surplus Saji. I'm big, I'm hairy, and I'm scary. So get ready.
Oh man, that's a good one. That's a really
All right.
good one. Yeah.
All right.
Now, see, you're being real. See, if I was being real, I'd be like, hold on, let me do a shout out. Let's do that. I'll do shout out because I got one. Let's see if he's in here. Hold on. I don't see him. Okay, never mind. I was gonna do, but my wrestler, like if I was a real life wrestler, I'd be like, I'm great, big, tall, and fat, and I often run out of breath just from tying my own shoes. I have chest pain several times in a day from eating too much peppery beef jerky. But I'm going to tell you something. When I get a hold of you, I'm going to twist you and turn you like a piece of beef jerky and shred you into a million pieces until your mother's mother can feel it. How about that?
this Thursday, Thursdela Thursday, Hebrew Sedula and Keith's dad are just going to take everybody on. We are going to do some chat call outs. And if anyone says anything like, I'm looking at you, Lothar, we're going to bring you in the ring and make you sorry. There you go.
All right, your turn, Saji.
All right. Yeah, well, these guys, they're a lot of smoke, but there isn't any fire in that grill. You guys aren't even cooking with gas. You're chilling with Freon. So get out of my way. This is Sagizilla here, and you ain't going nowhere. And that's just the way it is because it's Thursdela, and that's why, my friend. That's why.
Not too
I
bad.
seriously have to
Not too
cough
bad.
every time I do that. Every time I do that voice, I gotta like mute myself to cough afterwards.
Yeah,
It destroys my voice.
I think when I did a dragon in my Legend of Zelda movie, I was always having to he says we're killing these wrestling promos. I don't know.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Are we like just killing them like now they're dead and we're just feeding a dead horse? Or
I'll tell you what, no, I really no offense to yours or mine or anything, but I think Saji is the best of all of us. I think.
Oh yeah.
He did a really good one. He put some truth behind his, like, I'm big, fat, and hairy, and man, am I really scary? I thought that was funny.
I'm just reading what I see on the screen. That's it. That's all I do.
Well, let me try one more, and then we'll give this room a shout out. What do you guys think?
All right, yeah, let's go for it.
I gotta tell you, I smoke about 4 packs of cigarettes a day, and when I get a hold of you, Lotar 900 and Eddie Von Keen, the real one with a wrench. I'm gonna smoke you guys till your little tiny ashes inside of an ashtray that I stub out with my butt. Get it? Because I said but, you know, like the other kind of butt.
I mean, as long as we're doing shout outs and wrestling voices, you know, this Thursdela Thursday, we're also gonna have Michael Fontaine and Bone Breaking Action tag teaming it against Miss Connie Joe and Eddie Von Keen. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
I think you just did a shout out.
Yeah, well, you did half of them. I did the other half.
Yeah. Oh, but wait a minute. Did we mention that Bone Breaking Action is going to be the special guest referee? How about that? That was the rest of your shout out.
Bone Breaking Action throws Lothar 900 off off the ropes into the Spanish table.
Yeah, didn't they just kill you like every time? It was always the Spanish announce table that always took the worst beating.
Every time.
No, but on the Spanish channel, it was the English table that took the worst beating. When Nacho Libre was wrestling. Yes, my friend.
Okay. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did every once in a while do the main announce table, but it was always in the main event.
Right.
Like, you know, you got to keep a main announce table, you know, you got a 2 or 3 hour show to do, you know. It's not like they would just JR would be like, bring us in another table for God's sake, you know.
You know, I stopped I'll be honest, when I watched wrestling in the 80s big time, you know, I was a big I was actually a big Jake the Snake Roberts fan, you know, and 1 2 3 Kid, back when those two had their thing going on, I was really big into it. And when I got out of it was every once in a while they do jump over the ropes, you know, and they do a little fighting outside the ropes, but it always ends up going back into the ring. But then at one point, almost all the fighting happened outside the ropes. They started to try to one-up each other, and, you know, it was like, all right, it's not really wrestling anymore. Now it's just people beating the crap out of each other.
Well, I didn't mind that so much. In fact, I liked the hardcore wrestling. The hardcore wrestling was really cool. Like when it first started, you know, it was like I'd turn on the TV. I go, man, they're beating the shit out of each other with stop signs and barbed wire and baseball bats. And, you know, it was like, no, this is a little bit more than what I'm used to, but I got into it, you know. It was like watching like a little miniature movie, you know.
Yeah, I felt exactly the same way when I started watching the Jerry Springer show.
Yeah, that's
yeah. Yeah. But no, I did. I liked the hardcore stuff because it was more real. It was like real.
Well,
like they're really hitting each other with those objects, you know. I mean,
yeah, when they hit each other, but when the majority of it is that it because it's less, it affects you less. Like, for instance, remember the wrestling one where Hulk Hogan's whole face started to bleed? Was that the one that you did? Was that 89? Or I think it was Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant in a main event in a title match, and his entire face was bleeding because he hit the top of his head, and that was like massive. That was so huge at the time.
Yeah. It was a big deal because it was real blood.
Yeah, because
it was a head wound, and the cut man couldn't make it stop bleeding. But the scripted match wasn't over yet, so they had to keep going.
The show must go on. And
yes,
though I knew wrestling was fake at the time, when you're seeing stuff like that, it's like, I mean, it really, really takes talent to be a wrestler, or at least it did at that point.
Well, it's a lot of acrobatics involved and a lot of Hollywood stuntman type stuff. I mean, when you see the Hollywood stuntman, they perform all those stunts. They're still doing a lot of things that's putting their legs and limbs in trouble. You know what I mean? Like they're still putting their bodies through a heck of a lot. And I mean,
it's still they're still doing feats of athleticism.
Yeah, but it's kind of toned down since. Oh God.
I was gonna say I won't go as far as to say it's fake. I don't really kind of like that term, but it's choreographed.
Yeah,
it's scripted and no, it's scripted and well choreographed.
Yes,
right.
Yeah, no, that is absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely takes athleticism.
Yeah.
I would say they've toned down a lot of their antics since was it Kevin Hart? Is that not Kevin Hart? One of the Hart brothers, wasn't it? That
You
fell
mean
off
Owen?
Owen Hart?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, the blue blazer. Owen Hart, yeah.
Yeah, Owen Hart. Ever after that incident, things really have kind of toned down when it came to intensity of the action. They still talk a lot.
No, that wasn't blood pills. Eddie Von King. Hold on, I want to address something.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to address the audience real quick. That wasn't. They never took blood pills. They always either cut just the top of their forehead, or they cut like almost like the inside of their lip. Like sometimes it was just they would get hit for real. Like that's what we call in the field. We call it potatoing someone. It's called potatoing someone when you hit them for real. Like you either slip or you hit them harder than what you're supposed to. It's called a potato punch, and that's what. And the blood was real. I mean, the wrestlers, they hide the blade right there in their wristband sometimes, or sometimes, like Hulk Hogan said that he'd hide his blade like inside, like when you chew, you take a dip, he'd hide it like right in there. And sometimes, like back in the old days, the referees had the blades. And when it came time and what they call a spot, when it came to that spot, the referee would do something like it looked like he was holding off the wrestler, or he was like talking to him or whatever, and he'd slip the wrestler the blade, or he'd cut him himself. He'd cut the wrestler himself. But most of the time, the guys did it to themselves, because it was just safer that way. But yeah, it was all real blood. I just wanted to address that. Go ahead, Guy. Saji.
I wasn't aware of the fact that it was always real blood. I thought it was a combination of sometimes it was real blood, and that they actually would use blood packs or whatever.
No,
they never. That was never ever. Okay, yeah, sure.
No, that couldn't be the case, because first of all, if they had a blood pack or something like that, it would probably go off at the wrong moment. First of all, and then secondly, it's really more difficult to bite into a blood capsule than you think. And it just looks messy. It goes all over. It doesn't look real. So
gotcha.
They never used anything like that.
Because there's people actually sitting there in the stands, and it would be way too obvious to them, is what you're saying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. And then the other thing I was going to mention, when I was thinking about, like if you really think about the wrestling stars through the ages, and when they first came out, how animated they were, like Junkyard Dog and Rowdy Roddy Piper. They were almost like straight out of a cartoon, or like another world, you might say, like imaginary Wrestle Kingdom that they all came from, right? But then as it got into the 90s and the 2000s, they kind of evolved into like rock stars and superstars, and with like Hulk Hogan kind of setting like a template for what the epitome of a wrestling superstar can be. And then people have came since then, like, The Rock and other big name wrestlers and athletes in similar genres and they've really kind of made it into where you can be like a super pseudo celebrity, go into action movies and make a real successful superstar career out of just being a really great wrestler who is a superstar.
Oh,
But
yeah. Well, I mean,
but there's not all the wrestlers aren't superstars.
right.
So you have to be both, and that's the thing that seems to be like a real rarity or a hard thing to achieve. Thoughts, guys?
Well, I mean, you look at Kevin Nash for an example. I mean, Kevin Nash, he was in movies like The Punisher and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he was in he was in some other. I think he was in Blade and Blade 2 or Blade, either one or two. I forget which one, but he was in several movies. I can't even name them all at this point. But then you look at guys like Hulk Hogan and The Rock, who were stars in their own movies. You know, you had Hulk Hogan, who really kind of kicked off the whole wrestling rock star or wrestling movie type thing. He started off in Rocky 3, and then he had his own string of movies like Suburban Commando and just really kind of, almost like shitty movies like Santa with Muscles and Surf Ninjas and, just bullshit like that. But I think one of the most awesome things I've ever seen, and a lot of people will disagree with me. They'll say, "Oh, that was a shitty show. What are you talking about, bro?" But I thought that I think Thunder in Paradise. I thought that was a pretty cool show. But really, and then you had Jesse the Body Ventura, who was in Predator. And I mean, yeah, the wrestlers. They really. It really took off from being a sideshow at a carnival to what it is today, or what it became in the 80s. I mean, it took off a lot of their careers. And of course you got like The Rock, who, as far as I know, he is the only one to this very day that actually was able to successfully move from wrestling to the big screen and actually made a go of it. You know what I mean? When you think of terms of being successful.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably the most successful story, the biggest success story of them all. Yeah, for sure. He's a household name. Everybody knows who he is.
Talking about The Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, that I'll be honest though, that almost didn't happen, considering like what was it? The first thing he was in was with the Mummy
King.
The Mummy 2.
Yeah.
Where he was just a face on a huge CGI. It was awful.
Yeah, that was horrible.
That was horrible. The fact that he survived that is a testament to him being either a good guy or a good actor, because normally that could have been anybody else and that would have ended their career right there.
Yeah, I can see how you would say that. I just remember thinking that whole movie was awful.
The whole movie was awful. It really was. That's one of those movies that they should just. Mummy 1 was good. You didn't need a second one, but
yeah,
money. You gotta have it. That's why they made the second one.
Yeah. With that being said, though, I mean, I mentioned Kevin Nash earlier. Would any of you guess? Did any of you know that he was Super Shredder? He played the part of Super Shredder in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Did you guys know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, but I don't think it would have. It was like an obvious role thing. Like the Shredder doesn't sound anything like him. You know what I mean?
Well, no. Well, all he did was go,
Yeah. So his weightlifting partner might have realized it was him.
Right?
Yeah.
But seriously, though, I think The Rock is a shining example of wrestlers. I mean, you had, Hulk Hogan. You had Andre the Giant, who was in a couple movies.
Princess Bride.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Are there rocks ahead? If there are, we'll be dead. I know that whole
Stop, you're rhyming this instant, and I mean it.
Anybody want a peanut?
That was like one of his most famous lines in that movie. It became a meme. It became a saying. And you ever see that "I love you, man"?
No.
That oh man, they kind of made that famous. They're like
That
yeah.
inconceivable.
Oh yeah, inconceivable. Yeah.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
And the whole poison scene, it's like by the
Oh,
time
yeah.
it's over, like you don't even know what happened until you wait to see who falls over.
I mean, that movie would have been perfect if it wasn't for every scene that had Fred Savage in it.
Oh shit, that's right. I forgot about Batista. Yeah, Batista was in the what was that? Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Gardens of the Galaxy.
And he's hilarious.
Yes.
But Fred Savage is just getting the story told to him, right? In his bed by his grandpa or something.
Yeah, you pay attention.
Terrible.
We moved on. We moved on, Super Saggy.
Yeah, because they mentioned Batista. He's getting there. I mean, but he's more honestly, The Rock plays like every type of part, you know. I mean, he can be the Tooth Fairy. He usually plays parts where he's not like so super strong. If I recall, every movie he's played in either has to do with the jungle or buildings. Is that right?
Yeah, he was at. There was one serious movie I think I've seen him in, and that was it was based off of a true story, and I think it was a remake actually. What's it called? Not Walk the Line. That was Johnny Cash. What was that movie? Walk something. But it was about a sheriff. I think it was about a sheriff that was in a town that was a corrupt town.
Oh, that's a remake of something. My goodness. Not Walking Tall. Was it? Walking Tall.
Walking Tall, yeah. Yeah, that was so far, I think that's been The Rock's only like real serious role that he's ever been in. He was in G.I. Joe. I think he was in one of the G.I. Joe movies. He was in, let's see, what was another good one? I'm trying to think of some really good ones.
The Fast and Furious movies, he's kind of serious, but not really.
True. Yeah, Fast and Furious. And then he was in, what was that one recent one? The video game that came to life.
Jumanji.
Yeah, Jumanji. He's in that Jumanji reboot or remake or whatever you want to call it. I guess it's a sequel. Is it a sequel?
It's kind of a sequel. It does. It's a good standalone, but it uses some of the storyline from the previous, but it's totally a standalone.
No, please don't tell me. Say it ain't so. Bone-breaking action.
What's that?
No, we don't need that. We really don't need that.
A new woke Walking Tall.
Yeah. Oh man. Why can't Hollywood just leave things well enough alone? You know?
Speaking of Hollywood leaving things well enough alone, sometimes it's good when they come back years later and finally get around to making a sequel, i.e. the Ghostbusters.
Oh, I see what you're doing here.
Wait, what?
You know, they're getting ready. They finished the Ghostbusters sequel, and due to the C word, they had to postpone it till June of 2020 of this year, right?
I think this fall, yeah.
Wait,
okay.
We're talking real Ghostbusters, right?
Ghostbusters.
Not 2016 Ghostbusters.
No, not them. No.
The real guys. Well, anyway, the original, like what's his name, Cameron came back and he's producing it, right? Directing it, whatever.
What the hell are you talking about, Cameron?
The original guy. Was it James Cameron? No. What was
No,
his name?
no, not James Cameron. Come on, man.
What's his name? I can't remember his name.
Ivan
Bill
Reitman's
Murray?
son.
Are you talking about Bill
Yeah.
Murray?
Well, Bill Murray's in it. Yeah. Dan Aykroyd makes an
Bill
appearance,
Murray,
maybe.
Dan
Egon.
Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson. They're all in it. Yeah.
But they're like
Mhm.
grandpas and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It's called Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yes.
And basically it's about Egon's kid or grandkid discovers like they all have to move out to the country.
And they get out in the barn and they find all of his cool stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
then-
basically
And then stuff starts happening and, the craziness ensues.
But it doesn't take place in New York City?
No.
No, I don't know. I
It
think
doesn't
most
really
of it,
it doesn't really say, does it?
I think most of it just takes place in that rural area, that town, that small town.
Yeah.
Oh.
But who knows? It may expand into New York. I don't know. But I think, see, the whole storyline is like Egon died since, Harold Ramis died in real life. So they're making it like Egon died.
They're keeping it real
Yeah.
hush hush. They're not giving away everything.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
I can live with that.
he left the barn and all that land to his daughter, and that's when his grandson and granddaughter find all this stuff. And what I think it boils down to, here's what I think happens. I think that there's a long time of calmness, like there is no ghost or something, and then something big happens, and it's Ivor Shandor, the architect of the building in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he is the cause of the new activity. And I think what happens is there was earthquakes that started, and I think the ecto containment unit, which is in this barn now,
Yeah.
it's no longer in the firehouse.
Right.
And I think what happened was there was a rupture in the ecto containment unit, and it leaked out all of these ghosts, but it was due to the PKE surge caused by Ivor Shandor. And I think Ivor Shandor is going to be the main villain in this, because we do see it's called Ivor Shandor's Ranch, if I'm not mistaken. And we do see one of the terror dogs jumping on top of the Ecto-1. So I think that's gonna be the main bad guy is gonna be Ivor Shandor.
I just like the way you say Evil Shandor, to be quite honest with you.
What do you
Keymaster.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
It's just cool. Like every time you say it, I want to take a shot of whiskey until I'm drunk.
Yeah. But what do you think of all this, Keith's dad?
I would be excited to see the new Ghostbuster movie. I mean, I don't know how you could take the Ghostbusters out of New York City. I mean, that was like 99% of the Ghostbusters, not to mention the last time we saw them, they were literally walking the Statue of Liberty with tennis shoes or something like that down, down the street, and to go with, years later, they're not super mega rich stars, would be kind of like what happened? If that's the case.
Here's the thing I think of is like when they busted Vigo and
the thing.
Yeah, the thing. Where am I on that?
It's like
the thing.
just to finish up and to give you an example is I'll look forward to it and I'll probably enjoy it, but there are things that are attached to the Ghostbusters, like them being in New York
Right.
City, similar to like Indiana Jones. Who does Indiana Jones fight? Indiana Jones fights the Nazis. He's always fought the Nazis. But then when they made the new Indiana Jones, which took place in the 80s, he was fighting the Russians, which just kind of seemed, it's just, it's taking them out of their element.
Well, again,
So if I'm not mistaken, Hebrew, and I heard Keystad correctly, He's saying, "What do you mean they're not in New York City?"
Yeah, what? How can you do that? How can you take him out of New York City?
Well, here's the. Hold on. Here's the thing.
You know the thing.
You know, in Ghostbusters 2, all of the ecto, whatever you want to call it, the activity was caused by Vigo. And I think once they busted Vigo, all of that ecto activity, all the slime and all that just sort of went away. And it really put them out of business. I'm not saying there maybe wasn't a ghost here or there, but they got so good that they put themselves out of business is what I'm saying. Like they busted all the ghosts that they could and it settled down for all those years. And again,
bro.
huh? Yeah.
Hey, bro. Let me put you in the Statue of Liberty, give you a remote control, and walk that Statue of Liberty down Times Square, and only do it once. And I guarantee you will never need a job ever in your entire life. You'll be the most famous man alive.
Well, think about it this way.
You'll be more famous than Rudy Giuliani, my friend.
Well, think of it this way, guys. Just once, and let me play devil's advocate here. You remember, like in Ghostbusters 1, they took on all those guys. You had a 50 foot Stay Puft Marshmallow Man walking down the street, got blown into a million pieces. Like hundreds and hundreds of people in New York witnessed this event. They witnessed the rooftop of the top of that building getting blown to smithereens. They witnessed all this, right? They witnessed all of that. Yet, in the second one, all of the people in New York pretend like none of that stuff ever happened. Even the mayor and the mayor's assistant denied it ever happening. So my theory is, for that movie at least, is you had some kind of organization like the Men in Black or something like that, and they used like a giant neuralizer, neuralized everyone in New York, because by the second movie, nobody knew any of this stuff happened.
Yeah, they do talk about it briefly, that they did have a surge of popularity that just kind of went. They made bad decisions, like for instance, the Bill Murray character. You know, he grew popularity, had his own TV show. Only now that TV show is pretty much garbage. You know, years down the line, but at one point they were super famous. So I guess maybe if they're going to touch on that kind of thing again, but then again, going back to your point, Hebro, so playing devil's advocate on myself, is in the second movie, the guy who got all the credit for fixing it was actually the Rick Moranis character. Because if you remember, the Rick Moranis character was outside the building with the crowd all around him. And he was shooting the thing.
What's that intro?
Sorry. Sorry about that, man. Go ahead.
So maybe they didn't get the credit, you know, because if you think, nobody else knew the Statue of Liberty was being controlled by the good guys, technically. Heck, for all they knew, it could have been controlled for your average bystander. It could have just been controlled by a bad guy. I don't know. Well, we'll see. I'll you know me. I'll walk into it with open eyes and watch it. But I did that. I've been burned once with Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't the original people. Though.
Man, you are too loud.
How so?
Holy cow. I gotta get used to this thing. Hold on. I turned it all the way up to like 90%. Okay, I'll never do that again. Oh,
bone breaking action.
Oh man, yeah, that was like and I know how you feel, Saji, with headphones on when I'm like super loud. Yeah, man, it's not pleasant.
Well, no.
It was jumping movies similar to this is, I want to say it was Rambo. Rambo came out with a new movie a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You guys familiar with this?
Oh, I saw it.
Okay, and it's the one where he's in like New Mexico and he has to,
Yeah.
or something like that, and he has to go across the border and stuff like that. And I thought, to be honest, I thought that was the stupidest movie, one of the stupidest movies I have ever seen, ever.
It wasn't that great. No,
it wasn't. It was.
If he would have just stopped at Taco Bell, it would have made it all cool. But
it just the timing didn't make any sense, and everything was so cliche, right? And you're thinking to yourself, I'm like, wait.
I was thinking to myself, a Baja Mountain Dew would make this movie so much better.
Is that because you're talking about the border?
The border.
The border, yeah. But no, dude, you're right. It was like the part that pissed me off, or that didn't piss me off, but it threw me off. Is like he walked in the middle of all those dudes. Like he walked right there, no weapons, no gun, no knife, no nothing. Just stands there, and man, he got his ass beat. Did you see that?
Right at the beginning.
Yeah.
But after that point, at no point was there any kind of, Rambo might get hurt.
Right. Yeah.
When he set up, because normally in a movie, the bad guy or the good guy sets up the plan or whatever, and they go through the plan, but that plan tends to go wrong.
Right.
Or somewhere, and they still manage to pull through. It's kind of like a story arc. But in this Rambo, everything he planned went right. And how he was able, I mean, there must have been like 30, 40 guys. And he goes and like Texas Chainsaw massacres every single one of them one-on-one.
Yeah, it was almost gratuitous.
Yeah.
It really was. It was like you if you like John Wick, you'll love Sylvester Stallone in the new movie because he really kills a lot of people.
Here's the thing. Okay, the thing.
The thing.
Okay, so like you expect Rambo to do some sneaky shit. Like you expect him to set up traps and like in that one Rambo, he was hiding in the mud and then he pops out, and kills the dude. But there's certain point in that movie where you really felt like he was in danger, like he's sitting there and what's her name got killed. She gets killed. And then that's when he steps into it. That's when he's like, all right, fuck you guys. He tightens up his bandana and gets his bowstrings all tightened up, slides his bow out in the mud. And now we're going to see Rambo kick some ass. But you didn't have that in this movie. You have to have a point where he's doing okay at first, but then starts kind of losing a little bit and then comes back and then wins on the end. It's there has to be that climax. Yeah, go ahead.
Here's the thing.
Wait for it.
You know the thing.
Okay.
They did that, but here's how they did it. They did it in a superficial kind of way because when she first started, at first she just wanted to hang out with her teenage friends and party and stuff. And he was really like, he's super conservative. He doesn't really want he's real overprotective, doesn't want her hanging out with these people, having them on his property, showing his stuff, and he kind of looks like an asshole a little bit in that regard. He's losing a little bit. You see what I mean? And then real bad guys show up and threaten the ranch. Well, okay, now I can take off the kid gloves and get busy. So it's like he gets to really show off what he could do and be the ultimate grandpa or male figure on the ranch for all these guys like at home that want to imagine like if someone came and attacked my house, this is how I'd handle it. It's like that. It's that ultimate story for every guy who's ever imagined the perfect way to stop the bad guys who attack his house, and it becomes that. So
mostly
that's
in Rambo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mostly in Rambo, he's out in the woods and he has to set
Yeah.
traps and stuff like that, but it's him using his environment, right? In this
Yeah.
case, it's his turf. It's his home turf. And you know what? You're gonna make me swear, and I'm not gonna swear, but I almost swear. The guy had a shafts throughout underground throughout his whole like acres of yard. Where the heck? Why the heck did he have that? Who would ever do that?
Rambo.
Rambo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
Rambo.
he had this plan from the very start. He's like,
Yeah.
20 years from now, I'm gonna have a a niece or whatever, and she's gonna end up dying, and the Mexican cartel is gonna come to my house, and I'm gonna have to blow them all up, and then go into the tunnels to take them on one at a time. The fact that he had the mine shaft that he built by hand, it's not like it was there.
Right.
He made it. They talk about him making it.
Well, when you think of it in terms like that too, also is like I kind of looked at it like almost a Home Alone movie, but with Rambo.
It was the Home Alone movie with Rambo.
Yeah. It's like
exactly what it
here's
was.
what would it's like here's what would happen if Kevin McAllister was like super trained in airborne division and so forth and all that. And that's what you would get if Kevin McAllister was like he came home from the war and it super fucked him up, like,
that's exactly what that movie was.
he
That
takes
was
it to
Home
the next
Alone
level.
17.
Yeah. Home Alone, rated R. Yeah.
But that's another one where for the most part, Rambo is a soldier. There was one of the Rambos where he was actually fighting like sheriffs or something like that. But in reality, he was pretty much crazy in that one anyway. But for the most part, he was overseas and he was fighting in the war. And so when you move him, similar to taking Ghostbusters out of New York and stuff like that, now he's fighting a Mexican cartel. It really pulls him out of his element. You're going to tell me that now, don't get me wrong, Rambo against a bunch of teenagers who don't know how to use guns, because if you notice, they always had their guns sideways. They did the whole gangster shooting of guns and stuff like that. So that was pretty obvious that they were about to get their butt whooped. But not one bullet, not one. He didn't even get cut. Like, not one scratch he took in that entire movie.
I've seen better shooting on the A-Team and Magnum PI.
Yeah.
Stormtroopers have better aim than these.
Right.
Yeah, First Blood. That's what it was. I'm not a Rambo expert here. I watched that movie and I knew it was terrible.
Well, the thing is, though, he did take a terrific beating there at the beginning, like when he went over to El Mexico, and he got in that, what was it, on that rooftop or whatever it was, and he was surrounded by all those dudes, and they like beat the shit out of him, and they ended up in the hospital.
Yeah, it was so it was basically Home Alone meets Taken.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah, you're right. That's what it was.
Right?
I almost called you Kevin's dad. I'm glad I didn't do that.
Kevin's dad.
Kevin's
well,
dad,
you got Home Alone on your mind.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm the father.
It was. At the first half of the movie was Taken. The girl gets taken. He has to go rescue her. But now instead of Taken, where Liam Neeson is going after them, nope. He's just gonna wait at home.
Yeah.
We'll wait for him to come.
Sit in his rocking chair.
Yeah, and he goes and instigates it. He goes and kills the brother first. Yeah. And be like, here's my address. Here's where I'll be. Come and get me. Like, yeah. Did they not go, hey, it's a trap? Not one person.
Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of dumb. Yeah.
It was. I hate to say it.
Okay.
It was a pretty terrible movie. I walked out of that movie. I went there with my mom, and my mom's boyfriend when it came out. We were supposed to go see some other movie, but it wasn't playing, so we went to go see that movie instead.
Oh man.
And we walked out of that movie incredibly speechless. We didn't even talk about it.
Oh wow.
We got in the car totally silent, and went home.
That's pretty bad.
Didn't even talk about that movie.
Oh,
It was
man.
like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that happened.
Yeah. Well, I lucked out. I got to watch it for free.
That's
so.
exactly what happened after our family watched Brokeback Mountain. I don't know, but
Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't even go there. Don't get me started. Don't go there.
Brokeback Mountain. I can't say it was a bad movie. It's just not a movie that I was
Prepared for?
I don't know. It's not that the storyline was good. The plot was good. The editing was good. The director was good. The actors were good. I don't really have anything negative to say about it other than it's just not my kind of movie.
Right.
That's
I'll
it.
go with that. Yeah.
yeah.
So, with that,
Well, you
being
were
said,
way earlier. You were going. I was trying to set up you to play this.
yes,
This
we were-
this
we
clip.
were- we squirreled awfully fast there, guys. Like he was setting us up with Ghostbusters, and then Ghostbusters turned into Rambo, and then Rambo turned into something else, and yeah. Oh man, how did that happen? Yeah, taking the Ghostbusters out of their element. Yeah.
Let me just say, Milo. You're welcome to call me Keith. In fact, my name is Keith. I am also Keith's dad, but my name is also Keith. So you can call me Keith, no problem.
So, is your dad's name Keith as well?
No.
So you would be Keith Senior.
I am Keith Sr. Yeah, but we don't call him Junior or anything like that because I'm dad. So he's Keith, I'm dad. So we don't really have a junior senior, but he is technically a junior.
Right, like you don't have it on his birth certificate that way or anything.
Yeah, he doesn't have a nick. Well, no, it's on his birth certificate. He's Keith Jr. But we don't call him Junior. He barely knows he's a junior.
Oh, okay.
No one calls me Keith. That's why.
Well, no, they call you Keith's dad.
Like Keith's dad or dad.
Yeah.
I work at home, so I don't even have to go out to work. But most everyone calls me dad.
Well, I feel kind of awkward calling you dad.
Yeah, don't call me dad. You can call me Keith. Keith works.
You can call me Keith. You can call me Keith's dad, but don't call me dad. Dad sounds like, like back in the 30s and 40s, or even in the 50s, where the dudes with the white T-shirts with the cigarettes rolled up their sleeves, they go, "All right, Dad," or "Hey, Daddy-o."
Daddy-o.
So, yeah. You know what I mean? You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you mean. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, the greasers, with the leather jackets, they always said Daddy-o.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, can you guys still hear me?
Sure can.
Okay, I'm going to take off the ear sits because I want to share this video with you. I want to share the whole screen. That's kind of tacky. So I'm just doing some things, and then I'll be right back. You guys talk amongst yourselves for 1 second.
All right. He's doing some things. He'll be right back. He wants us to talk amongst ourselves for just a second.
Okay, you might be right, Milo. They could have been beatniks saying Daddy-o and not the greasers.
Ah, yeah, beatniks.
Ah, there we go. I can hear you guys now. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right, good. Yeah, I don't know how you guys do it. You have headsets on, man. Those things, first of all, they make your ears sweat. Second of all, they they're just weird. I don't know how to explain other than weird. And I keep tapping the side of my head to turn up the volume and turn it down, fidgeting with it. It's just weird for me. I'm just saying.
As a gamer, I wear it so often that I just got used to it. But initially, yeah, it used to hurt my ears and stuff.
Yeah, I guess when you're used to it, I can understand that. Saji, do you still wear a headset?
Yes, I'm wearing a headset right now, actually.
Do you guys wear the over-the-ears headset?
Yes, I got the big foamy, cushiony headset. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the ones I like the best.
Oops. Okay, so here we have Saji, like you said. You set this up. This is a commercial, which I believe
it's a character reveal, is what they're calling it.
A character reveal, but I think isn't it also like a commercial for a new kind of marshmallow?
I believe so.
So here we go. Here's this. And this is from Sony, so we can't play very much of it. And we have to basically talk over it like we're doing the review. So can you guys see the screen?
I certainly can.
All right.
Marshmallows.
So now what I'm going to have to do is make the screen smaller. There we go. This way we look like we're there, but we're not there. Okay.
I'm with you, but I'm not with you.
Okay, I got you. All right, so we're going to talk about it as it's playing. So you see the marshmallow sitting there. The bag's about to pop open.
Oh my God, what's going on here?
We got a mini marshmallow man.
He's trying to be cute like Baby Yoda. Contain cute.
Yeah. Let's see there. He's got the. Let's go ahead and watch it. See, I got the sound off. That's probably a good thing. He bites his finger. Look at all these little guys. Oh man, why are they so happy? They're getting roasted. That's like another thing we talked about the other day. I think it was you and me, Saji. We talked about this. I forget what it was we were talking about, but we're like, oh yeah, it was the tacos. The tacos were all so happy they're getting eaten on Taco Tuesday.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look how this guy's getting burned alive and he's like laughing about it.
This is a take from Doctor Who. If you guys watch Doctor Who, these are adipose.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm seeing if I can find a good picture of them, but oh my goodness, let me find a good adipose.
Those guys are laughing. They're getting grilled over freaking fire and they're laughing about it. They're so happy to be roasted. But yeah, when you see the real Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and they roast him with their proton beams, he gets pissed.
Yeah, this kind of the way they're doing chaos, it kind of reminds you of the Gremlins a little bit too.
Yeah, if I could play it with the sound on, if you heard the sound, like they kind of sound like Gremlins a little bit.
I just threw a link of it in the private chat.
All right, let me go over to private chat.
Tell me these are not the same, almost the exact same creatures.
Look at those little assholes.
They're adipose. It's a famous Doctor Who monster.
Oh man, look at them. Well, I say assholes like in the nicest way possible.
Right.
Hold on. Let me share this. Oh my gosh. This is ridiculously funny. Oh gosh, hold on. Okay, let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of Hebrew. Let me get rid of that. Okay, let me start the screen sharing. Oh my gosh, look at these guys. They're like little tiny. Hey, wait, I can't.
Yeah, you're not sharing anymore.
No, hold on a second. I gotta click back on it. What I had on there. I'll tell you what, Keith's dad. Can you share it?
Yep.
All right.
Let me get it.
Yeah. I'm having some problems here, obviously. Oh man. Hey, Saji, how you doing down there, man?
Oh man, I am like just staying out away from this fire.
Oh yeah. Well, you probably, if Stay Puff comes near you, you'll be able to roast him.
Well, that's just the thing, man. There's fire to the left of me. There's fire to the right of me. You guys are spitting all this fire. The audience, the chat room is fire. I'm telling you, man. There's fire everywhere.
Oh,
There
I
you go.
thought you were going to say, "There's fire to the left of me, fire to the right. I'm stuck in the middle with you."
I am stuck in the middle with you and Keith Stat.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, here we go. Take a look at these little. Look at them.
What? So, I mean, to give you a little background on what these things are, is they're actually fat. A company put out a pill, and they were distributing this pill on how to instantly the fat just gets up and walks away, and that literally is what happens. The adipose pop out of you.
Oh man!
And then they just get up and walk away, and you lose weight. Unfortunately, it ended up turning your entire body into little adiposes. So you would basically just end up kind of exploding into adiposes. But but they were the same thing. They're like all happy and cute, and like there's plush dolls of them and all that stuff. And
oh man,
they were the yeah. I mean, you can just tell what their personality would have been like. But this has been there, done that.
Yeah. It's almost like one of the writers of Ghostbusters seen Doctor Who a few times.
I have a feeling they did.
Yeah.
Or they watched Ash versus the Evil Dead. Where the little ashes are running around.
Mm-hmm.
And you got that same sort of you know what I'm talking about? You remember that scene?
Yeah, the little mini ashes. Yeah,
the little mini ashes are running around.
Yeah,
but I would say it's more like the adipose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's possible that some of the same writers are the same writers for Doctor Who. Who knows? Some of the writers from Ghostbusters, you know.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna mute up for a minute. I'll be right back, guys.
Man, okay. Wow, he's been doing that a lot here lately. You think he was like going for a swim or something?
I love how Godzilla just keeps clapping.
He loves it. He's like, he's applauding us. Like he's one of the best audience members we had. You know? Yeah. Always clapping. Yay! Say that again, guys. I love it. But yet he's still breathing fire on us. It's a shame.
Well, I mean, if you guys haven't watched the new series of Doctor Who, I do recommend it. Doctor Who is probably one of the greatest television shows of all time. However, you don't have to go back 50 years to watch them. You can start with this the series that they started in 2006.
All right. Yeah. I talked to Saji about doing that. I am going to have to watch some more Doctor Who episodes. But in the meantime, we got Aunt Solomon in here.
Yep.
Milo Fire. And I keep wanting to say 3, but I think that's some sort of emoji he's got next to his name that just doesn't show up right in StreamYard. I don't know.
A wiggly smile.
Yeah. Kind of looks like a butt with 2 eyeballs on it. I don't know.
I mean, that's even in YouTube, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. All right. So, but no, I'm sure it is like a smiley wiggly thing. I don't know. We got Michael Fontaine in here.
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna do it. Now I'm at a loss. All right, so we'll just go back with I'm gonna do it like you're a Mexican cartel who just killed my niece. Michael Fontaine. What the hell?
That was
that.
perfect.
What the heck was that?
That was awesome, dude.
I did not plan that. I swear.
Oh man, that could not have worked out just right, though. I don't.
It was timed so perfectly.
Yes, it was. Okay, let's see. Let's see what my friend, what our friend. He's our friend now, not just mine, but my friend and yours. And well, heck, let's just say everyone who's watching, he's their friend too. Good old Sagittariusly speaking. I think he ran off to go get another shot of coffee, or he went off to go get another shot of caffeine straight up in the old veins. I don't know. Either way, he disappeared, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Maybe he had to make a sandwich. You know, he's always accusing me of making a sandwich. It's my turn now. Yeah, the tables have turned, Sadie.
I mean, I do keep snacks next to me, and
Yeah.
if you ever hear that's me having some gummy bears, but I'll try to mute before I do that. Remember that time we were just talking and I made a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
We don't do that. That's a one-time thing.
Yeah. But no, I got to say, I didn't notice Jennifer Richardson was here, and I didn't even shout her out. Oh man, I am slacking, dude. I am slacking. You know,
I didn't even notice.
Yeah. Shoot, she probably left because, like, you know, she thought we were just like ignoring her, like, fuck those guys, you know, walk off. Yeah, I do cuss. I do every once in a while. I let one slip out, but you got to let one slip out every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
Everyone thinks that good old Hebrew is like this clean cut guy that gets on here and just doesn't cuss, or, you know, I'm just so godly, you know. But no, that's not true. That's not who I am, man. I do raise a ruckus sometimes, every once in a while. Maybe just a small, tiny ant farmy type ruckus, but it is a ruckus nonetheless.
You know, I am a United States Marine, so the capability of swearing is well within me. And sometimes it's hard to not. But I think even before we went live, I swore a couple times just in our little private chat. But I make an active effort not to swear when we're live streaming. So if I do swear, know that it's used for incredible emphasis.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hey guys.
Huh? You okay there?
Yeah, I just want you to know I'm fucking back.
Right. Okay. You know, here's the thing. Where did the saying swearing like a sailor come from? Because I know sailors probably do swear, but I swear that they don't swear as much as Marines swear. You guys, you know,
you also got to remember that Marines used to be sailors back in the day.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They're the original sailors. These new sailors are just like fill-ins, you know.
Well, the Marines back in the day used to sit on the crow's nest, and they used to be the sharpshooters from the crow's nest. They didn't do any of the sailing, but they would be the sharpshooters.
Yeah, I heard something like that, like a history of that somewhere along the line. And if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong on this, and please do correct me if I'm wrong. But there wasn't Navy SEAL, like long time ago, there was no Navy SEAL. And actually they were called underwater demolition experts. And if I'm not mistaken, before that, it was the Marines who would go underneath the water and do all that stuff. If I'm not, I could be wrong. Please correct me if I am.
I mean, for the most part, Marines were just your armed force that were on the boat. They didn't do any of the sailing. Most of the time, they just stood around. But as far as Navy SEALs go, I mean, you know who trained Navy SEALs? Marines.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that, you know. It seems about right. Yeah.
And while we're going into it, that's why I joined the Marine Corps. I joined the Marine Corps because when you think of the Navy, you think of boats. When you think of the Army, you think of tanks. When you think of the Air Force, you think of planes. But when you think of the Marines, it's the Marines. That's what you think of. You don't think of anything else. It's the
I actually, with Marines, I think of gun. You're holding a gun.
Yeah, a guy's a person holding a gun. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's a person. It's the talent that comes from the person, not really necessarily the firepower, or the equipment that they have. Because to be completely honest, Marines are incredibly the poorest armed forces.
My cousin, youngest cousin, he's actually younger than me. He was in the Marines. My uncle that I always talk about on the show sometimes, he was actually an Iwo Jima. He actually
Very nice.
was killed in action.
From the halls of Montezuma to
World War II,
II.
actually.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of my family was in the military, but I was the black sheep of the family. I didn't go in the military. Even my sister, who, by the way, I make fun of because I can still to this day do more push-ups than she can. And I go, I don't believe you were in any kind of armed forces. Don't give me your bullshit,
Well,
Yes,
girls,
I joke with her, but
I told to be completely honest, I'm a Marine, but there are female Marines. Like we would call them female Marines in there. No, I won't. I am more scared of the female Marines than I are the guy Marines.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I know my sister, though. That's what I'm saying. I know I can take her.
Right.
Not that I would,
Well, I bet you. What service was she in?
Navy.
Oh, well, I mean,
yeah. I knew you were going to say
I don't disagree with you anymore. All right,
But here's the thing, man. Like, my two great uncles, they were both in World War II. I had a cousin, he was a Marine. My grandpa was in the Army. My uncle, not by blood, but the one my aunt married, he was in the Navy.
Who'd you say was a Marine?
One of my great uncles, like he was in World War II.
Did he pass away? Is he dead?
Yeah, he got hit by a sniper.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. I got a good long story about that, but I won't get into it on this show.
Okay.
I'll tell you backstage or something.
All right.
I mean that we're not trying to bring the audience down here. Now that it's down, no, I don't mean it that way. I consider him a hero. I'm just talking about what happened, how it happened.
Well,
all that stuff. I don't like to go into detail about it. You know what I mean?
The reason why I asked is because you kept saying, and I'll tell you, the reason why I asked was because it was very, very innocent. Is you kept saying was in the Marines.
Oh,
right?
I know.
Yeah,
it's well, he's passed.
You only say was in the Marines if he's no longer alive.
Right. That's why I was saying it in those terms, because I know that once you're a Marine, you're always a Marine.
Yeah,
I get that. Yeah. Yeah, believe me, I know those terms. I do.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't. They say, "Oh, you were in the Marines." I'm still in the Marines.
Right.
I'm not active duty, but I'm a Marine for life.
You know what probably makes you madder than them saying, like, does it make you matter when people say former or ex? When they say former, ex to me sounds much worse. Like, geez, thanks, buddy.
I'll be honest. I would say they both hold equal weight.
Right.
You gotta. It sounds so horrible, but you gotta correct them both.
All right.
You know, any way of saying that you were a Marine in past tense is inaccurate, and every Marine knows that.
Let me play devil's advocate here. Now, what if you were dishonorably discharged, though?
Well, Well, here's the
Mhm.
thing,
Okay.
right? So
Wait a
here's
minute.
the
I
thing
gotta
about
play it.
that.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
Hold on. I gotta play it. You said it, so it's in the contract. I gotta play it.
Go, you know the thing.
Sorry about
Technically,
Mhm.
you are still a Marine, and here's why:
Okay.
is because when you go into boot camp, like so you think of we're on the East Coast, we go to Paris Island, right? The what you're taught, what's drilled into you in Paris Island, is that the only way to get off of Paris Island, right? There are two ways to get off of Paris Island,
Deaf.
and both of them require you to be a Marine. One of them is to escape,
Yeah.
and one of them is to graduate.
Okay. Gotcha.
But they both basically require you to be a Marine, because how are you going to escape without being one? So that's the little joke that they
Okay.
do. So
I thought you were gonna say deaf. I'm like,
no,
that
boot
sounds
camp,
like you joined the gang or something.
right? Boot camp is
No.
what makes you a Marine, technically. Once you graduate and you get your EGA, you can get dishonorably discharged, which is terrible. It's awful. It's terrible. You're still a Marine. You're not going to get the same respect though, because dishonorably discharged. You're a bad Marine. That's what you are. You're a bad Marine.
Yeah, I know a guy. He punched his CO, and I think I said that backwards. No, I didn't. No, he punched his CO, so he got dishonorably discharged for that, for assaulting the CO, and
that'll do it.
So, but here's the thing. The thing is, I gotta play it. Sorry, I have to.
Go, you know the thing.
As I heard, and this, I want to ask you a confirmation on this, and this is the last we'll talk about military stuff.
Okay.
For now, it's interesting. I like talking about it. As a civilian, I am interested. I do like to ask questions. But is it true that, like, if you're sleeping and your DI comes up and wakes you up, and then you punch him, like it's okay, like that's a free pass?
I mean, so when you're talking about drill instructor, you're talking about in boot camp, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Your drill instructors are the hardest hardcore Marines that are possible.
Mhm.
So to be a drill instructor is such an immense honor. And if they wake you up and you punch them, you're probably going to get punched back. I mean, they're not going to, that's not going to be on the news or anything like that, but they're probably going to, punch you back, and you'll probably have to pay for it. But are you going to get like literally like paperwork disciplined? No.
There won't be one drop of ink dedicated to writing about it, but there will be. But he can make you do as many laps as he wants to make you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. They'll kill you in the terms of go and exercise you. That's just what they call it. But I did something that was like very. I can't believe I did it once. I was in trouble for something I didn't do, because they'll pick you out just because. And I didn't do it.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I brought up the whole sleeping thing because I heard that through the military grapevine, that if you're asleep and you're jarred like that, it's just a natural reaction.
Well, to be completely honest, we've gotten a lot PC even when I was in, where you didn't know it, but the drill instructors actually give you 8 hours of sleep. You are given absolutely 8 hours of sleep, guaranteed. Yeah, they will not mess with you for 8 hours while you're sleeping, unless something's planned, and it's got to be planned. It's not like they're just going to come out and mess with you at midnight. No, you're guaranteed 8 hours.
They come in at midnight, banging the trash can.
Yeah, and that whole thing where they walk in every morning and with a bullhorn and screaming at you, that's just for the movies. I mean,
no,
they don't do that every day, do they?
Every day. Actually, Full Metal Jacket. That is watered down boot camp. Boot camp is exactly like that, only harder.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Full Metal Jacket
I
is
stand corrected. I didn't think that was the case.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I figured it was the case.
It is an incredible rendition of what boot camp is like. Even singing to Jesus on Christmas. You know, sometimes you'll sing Happy Birthday. If you're there during Christmas, you'll sing Happy Birthday to Jesus on Christmas. Yeah, they'll do that.
I cut you off a while ago. You were right in the middle of starting to say getting in trouble.
Yeah, I got in trouble once. I got in trouble for something I didn't do. I didn't. They just picked me out of, and I got so mad. I was so fed up with it. I was so done with it that I took my weapon that I had, my M16A2, and put it above my head and threw it in front of me down the sidewalk, and it skidded and sparked. That's how hard I threw it. It sparked as it went down the sidewalk. And what actually happened, I mean, you can tell that's a terrible thing. You throw in your weapon, you know, you're not even supposed to let go of it, let alone.
Right.
Anyway, he brought me into the barracks, brought me into the kind of the storage room of the barracks, and closed the door, right? And then he took off his hat and his jacket, right? And he said, "Recruit Rawl, what's your first name?" You know, and I told him, and he goes, he just sat and talked with me like a normal human being for 10 minutes. Talked with me, just you know, gave me a few tips. Hey, you know, this is the way that it is. You know, it's a game. This is what we do. Just remember that it's a game, and you'll be fine. And after I did, because I didn't know it was a game. I didn't know what we were doing. You know, so
Right.
I didn't know anything about the Marine Corps when I joined. I really didn't. But after that, I was totally fine. I was flawless. It was fantastic. So,
Awesome.
yeah, when it comes to like that character, Arlie Emery is exactly what the drill instructors are like.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm thinking about making some more stop motion things, putting the voiceover on there. I thought that was
Milo Fire. Arlie Emery, he was not a gunnery sergeant. They call him the gunny, but in real life, he was not actually a gunnery sergeant when he was active duty. He became a gunnery sergeant after that movie came out because he was a gunnery sergeant in that movie, and the Marine Corps post promoted him up to gunnery sergeant for it. But yes, he was a drill sergeant. And that is exactly how they act. Exactly. You have 3 drill instructors, and it's drill instructor, not drill sergeant. But the drill sergeant is Army. Drill instructor, 3 of them. You have you have one guy that's literally insane. He's insane. He's chaotic. You don't know what he's gonna do. Then you have one that's more like the really harsh dad. You know, the really harsh dad. You know, the stepfather from hell. That's what his character is. And then you have the mother role, the one that's kind of like, you know, tries to take you under his wing, you know, and that's the senior drill instructor. So that's the one that's in charge. He kind of plays the mother role. However,
you might say mentor.
Yeah, he plays. Yeah. He's the good guy. He's the good guy. You see him as the good guy. Now remember, this is how it's been for hundreds of years. This is what they do. But at the end, they make a transition. At the end of the training, your senior drill instructor ends up turning into the bad guy, while your regular drill instructors turn into the good guy. You know, so they do a character flip, and it's all scripted. It's all made to be that way.
Yeah, it's basically to see how you react under those circumstances, right?
Yeah, because the regular drill instructors are with you 24/7. The senior drill instructor is their boss, basically, and so their boss is the one that protects you. Blah blah blah. But then after a while, that safety net of the boss goes away. You know, he becomes the bad guy now. And so now your regular drill instructors are the ones that end up being the ones that you look to for advice and stuff like that. It's very interesting dynamic. You can make tons of movies on. I mean, they've perfected this over hundreds of years. That's what's interesting. It's amazing. It's not like everything that you see them doing in Full Metal Jacket. Everything you see him do is actually so scripted. Him insulting people. You know, the first 4 weeks of boot camp is literally taking everything away. And if you remember in Full Metal Jacket, that's what he does. He is running them hard. He's destroying them. But then you get to Gun Week. And if you remember Private Pile, right? Private Pile ends up being a good shot. And all of a sudden, the gunny goes, hey, maybe we will let you in. That's actually the point where they start taking you're now broken down, and now they're going to start instilling military values into you.
They tear you down from scratch to build you up the way you're supposed to be built up. Like, they have to prepare you for that stuff. You have to become mentally tough as well as physically tough.
Yeah. That's exactly, even the courses they did is exactly what you do in the Marine Corps. They have two different types of courses. They have the obstacle course and the confidence course. The obstacle course is what they do in the beginning, where you couldn't do like one pull-up, or you couldn't get over the obstacle. That's the obstacle course. The confidence course is actually incredibly easy, and it's just there to build your confidence up, but you don't do that till later on. You don't do, but yeah, no, you want to know what Marine Corps is like? That movie is pretty spot on.
Man, I tell you what, I love that movie, and I hear a lot of people. I have a friend, not my friend that just recently passed away. Like, his uncle was in Vietnam, and he said he watched that movie, and he can get past the boot camp part. Like, he can watch it up until then, but as soon as they get into combat, he just immediately just switches off. Like, he cannot watch that part at all, because it is so realistic. He says that's true to what actually happened over there, that when it gets to that part, he just switches it off. He can't watch it.
Yeah, you do get some bad memories when you think about when you're in war and stuff like that. I was lucky. I did go overseas twice for that, but I didn't have to shoot. Thank God I didn't have to shoot anybody. So I feel like I came out a little saner than a lot of people did. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the boot camp part is the best part of it.
But with all that being said, we're going to skip subjects.
Yep.
To you, Saji, you had a few things you wanted to talk about, right?
Let's see. The other thing I wanted to do is, it was this time last year when that COVID-19 song came out.
Oh, no.
The one with Kenneth Copeland. I don't know if you remember that.
We can't even mention that. We can't even mention that word.
That's the name of the song.
I know, but YouTube will shut us down if we even mention the word, Saji. We can't even mention it. We can't even say Soviet ice skiing. You know that? We can't even do it.
Can we say chocolate ice cream?
Oh, yeah, chocolate ice cream. Okay, that'll work.
All right.
This is the C word.
Yeah, the C word. Yeah. Okay, but no, seriously.
However. So in for customer appreciation, they first of all, they changed their name from What the F Bruh to Remix Brothers to be more family friendly.
Ah, I see.
And they released a extended remix of the song.
We will be more than glad to see this. Hold on, I gotta say this right. I'll say it in the way like a wrestling announcer would say it. Extended remix.
Yes, extended, remix. And it is. I don't know if anybody remembers it from last year, but the famous evangelist, he talked about he was going he was doing his thing down there in Texas, and he said he was going to call on God to create a heat wave that was going to blow the virus away. Remember?
Oh yeah, I remember it very well, my friend. He was like, "Get out of here, COVID-19."
Yeah, and so these.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So these clever guys took it and made it into a hip song, and it was so successful they decided to make a remix at the 1 year anniversary. And I don't know if you guys are following this whole Little Nas X thing where he has these new shoes that he made, that he takes a pair of Nikes and he modifies them into Little Nas X's. Are you familiar with this, Keystad?
No, I'm looking it up now though. I had to
Okay.
switch tabs.
All right. Yeah, he's the guy who sang Old Town Road, Country Road.
Yep.
Right, yeah. Well, this is his new venture, and he's got a new video where he comes out being gay, and he gives the devil a lap dance. And each one of these Nike shoes has one drop of human blood in it, and he's calling them Satan's shoes or something like that. So he's really like stirring the pot, got some controversy going on. Nike has halted the sales of the shoes because they don't want to be affiliated with anything, Satan worshiping. And anyway, I say all of that to say this.
Mm-hmm.
In the remix, they poke fun at the Lil Nas X video as well. So when you see that footage near the end, that's the reference that it's doing. If you're not familiar with the video, you wouldn't get the reference. So I'm just trying to make sure you guys get it. That's all. And that's all I got to say. I think I set it up as much as I can.
Is this the one? Oh, here it is. Yeah, I believe this is it. Oh, I got no sound. Hold on, guys. I need to modify the whatchamadoodle.
I thought you were going to say mother. Never mind.
What? I mean, what do you? Hold on. I got to do this right. I got to do this the right way. What do you mean?
I thought you were going to do another Pulp Fiction reference there, my friend.
No, hell no. Wait a minute. What do you mean? Another Pulp Fiction reference?
That's scary. That's scary, even if you don't ASMR it, for real though.
I know, right? Like I could totally be that guy. I'd be like that SMRS guy,
Yeah, it sounds like the guy in the movie theater that reminds you not to smoke. Stuff like that. Please throw away your trash at the end of the movie. Be kind to everyone. It's for the patronage of our guests. I don't know. You know what I mean.
Please locate your nearest exits.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, I don't have the thing.
You know the thing. Do you need me to
Go, you know the thing.
Do I need you to do what now?
Do you need me to find it for you?
Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. I just need 1 second. Just 1 second. Oh, no, I have it. I just need to fix my sound so you guys can hear it.
All right.
So while I'm doing that, you guys talk amongst yourselves quietly.
Keystad, are you still here with me?
I certainly am. In fact, I was just looking down at the description of the YouTube stream, and we haven't really talked about any of the things. So yeah.
What were we supposed to talk about?
Sci-fi TV shows and AI taking over the universe.
Oh, I have that one and waiting in the wings after this video. Yes, I have a story I got to tell you guys that it's the what grinds my gears segment. Keith's dad hasn't been here long enough to know that about a year ago, so I used to do this thing called what grinds my gears. And
Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, he's in a Walmart.
yeah. This time I am in a Walmart, yes. So yeah, it goes along.
Or he's driving.
Yes, or I'm driving. I did have a few things happen to me today that grinds my gears about driving, but I won't get into them. Well, yes, I will. I'll get into one thing.
He said that in his snakes don't always bite voice.
Yes, I sure did, didn't I? It kind of snuck out of there. But no, you know when you're driving and then that person is in a turn lane and you're in the turn lane and they're taking forever to make their turn and they're doing it as slow and as monotone as they possibly can, talking like this for hours. And no, I'm just kidding. But no, when they're taking their time to make that turn and you're just sitting behind there and you're just gripping the wheel as hard as you can, going, move it! Come on! How long does it take you to make a turn?
And on the radio, it's playing. You got to move it. You got to move it.
Right. Something like that, Saji. How come there's no sound? This is weird.
I mean, do you want to send me the link and I can put it on?
Oh,
whoa!
No,
that would be too brilliant and like simple and easy.
That would make too much sense, Keith's dad. Come on now.
But then you wouldn't have pause control.
Let's see.
I think he's got pause control anyway.
All right, let's see if that fixed the problem. Nope. Come on now. Well, why is it even doing this?
Come on, man.
On this day of darkness.
Here,
Do I need to go to headsets? What am I doing here?
Well, I don't know. Remember, you had to share the whole screen. That's all I know.
No, I know that for that, but I have.
Well, we're waiting.
Hold on. Am I hearing it through my headset now? Hold on. I turned my headset off. So it shouldn't. Oh, I know what I got to do. All right. I just figured it out. Okay, give me 1 second, guys.
Okay. All right. So while we're waiting, look, I even set this up beforehand just in case I needed to. We'll do a Keith's dad face reveal. Look, I'm exactly like my picture.
Well, let's take a look. Oh,
hello, everybody. Me in a robe. That's what we do. All right, bye.
What was the song? Somebody's mom. She's got it going on. What was the song?
I don't know.
Something's mom. She's got it going on. What was the name of the person's
Stacy's mom?
Stacy's mom. Well, if it's Keith's dad, he's looking good in plaid.
Okay. I'm stealing that. I can already tell. You want to keep going? I'm gonna steal every single lyric.
That's the hook right there. Take it and run with it, my friend.
You know, I almost got your laugh down. You know, next time I do
yes, you do.
Mandela family movie, and I'll be going.
My giggle.
I think that's it. Is that it? Saji, what do you think? Okay, Keith's dad, you laughed. Like, kind of do a fake laugh. Okay. Now here's my impression. All right, here it goes. Okay, was that off or I don't know?
I mean, you got the tone right, but it's the frequency you're still not nailing.
Okay. I got to get it just right. All right. I'll work on it. Before the next Mandela family movie comes out, which will be next week, by the way.
Well, hot diggity darn. What's going on here? Is it not playing or have you?
I think my internet's being an asshole. Hold on. There we go. Okay.
All right, here we go.
I think I rewound it too many times.
Wow.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. What's the name of this again?
Let's see here. It is Lil Casey's Wind of God Extended Deluxe Remix.
From the Remix Bros, right?
Yes. Their
Okay.
channel is now called the Remix Bros, BROS, like Mario Brothers.
Okay. Cool. Well, give them all the credit, my friend.
Yeah, go check out their channel. We play songs from their channel all the time. So if you listen to this channel, then it's like it's the first time we've ever done this.
All right, here we go.
The wind of God is even better. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord. We are about to have it again. Burn! Burn! COVID-19! 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 The wind of God.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, this is
He looks crazy.
a nightmare.
Oh boy. I remember when blow COVID-19.
It gets you hyped. You're just jumping around your living room, throwing couch cushions, screaming COVID-19.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't have any couch cushions to throw, but I do have a pillow and a blanket, so I'll be throwing those here in a second.
Kingdom to the state of Maine, Brownsville, Texas, and the Temple, Florida. Today, we speak to this atmosphere.
Why just those places?
This virus hates heat. You just burn this thing. Burn! Burn! I call for a supernatural heat wave straight out of hell. Burn!
Oh God.
COVID-19! 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 I'll go! The wind of God.
Pause it for a second.
All right.
I love how he's got those guys standing next to him to do like the backup vocal. And when he says COVID-19, they go COVID-19, COVID-19. Like they're all sailing on a ship, like they're all sailors or something, you know.
I mean, this totally didn't age very well. This guy's speech, did it?
No.
It's a year later. Yeah, he was supposed to be gone in a week.
Yeah, we're at the 1 year anniversary of the 2 weeks to stop the spread.
Yeah, but you know, let's finish, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I heard the Lord say this to me several weeks ago. Kenneth, what? You believe me for a heat wave? I walked out in my backyard. I speak to this atmosphere. I call for a strong south wind. I call for a supernatural heat wave straight out of hell. Burn! Burn! COVID-19! 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 I'll go! The wind of God! Hey! In May, it hit triple digits. Hey! In May, a supernatural heat wave. Hey! In May, a supernatural heat wave straight out of hell. Burn! Burn! Oh, I'm telling you, it gets hot down there. It Africa hot down there. Turn the air conditioner. It gets hot down there. Man, it's hot. Oh, Lord. My goodness, it's hot in here. COVID-19. 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 I'll go. The wind of God. You don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it. You get out of here. Now. You don't do it. You don't do it. You don't do it. You get out of here. Burn this thing. COVID-19. 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 I'll go. The wind of God.
All right, you can stop it now if you want. I've seen enough, and it gets a little gruesome from here.
Okay. If you say so. Hey.
What is that? What is that?
Well, it's just that whole like thing with the devil. It just gets a little too much. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys want to watch it, I mean, go ahead and go to the channel.
No,
if that's what you want to watch.
That's okay.
But you know what? I remember when the song came out last year, it was kind of jamming. But now he's just like they've taken so many clips of making him look evil. I feel like I need to go take a shower now or something.
Oh man, I really do gotta take a shower after watching that. That guy's just freaking creepy, dude.
I don't see how anybody could follow him and think that he's like he's good, like he's the guy that's going to get me to heaven.
Right.
How is he still on TV?
Well, he's actually recently just been replaced on like the network that used to air gave him the slot he used to have. A new, younger, more PC friendly preacher has taken over his time slot.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was wondering how long that was going to last because, yeah, he's not really the most politically correct, friendly preacher on the airways ever.
No, I mean, I still think he has his congregation and everything that show up to physically see him, but he lost his like prime time air spot or whatever.
That's how I feel about that.
Yeah.
That's my feelings exactly. Well, hey, we have Bone Breaking Action step back in. Bone Breaking, it's good to see you, man. I hope you got some things done. He said he was going to step away for a minute. He's got creative process going through his neurons. And speaking of neurons, we were actually supposed to air the Star Trek The Next Generation stop motion marathon on Saturday. That was supposed to be Saturday. And then WrestleMania 5 was going to be on Sunday. So, but, you know, you put that awesome promotion out there. Now I got to go back and I got to change it now. I can't back down now. I got to do WrestleMania 5 on Saturday now. And we'll just move the Star Trek The Next Generation stop motion marathon up to Sunday.
Oh, I got to unmute for that. Yay! I did it. And I'm like, oh, I'm muted.
Yeah. So, you know, like I said, the Star Trek The Next Generation stop motion marathon.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I do have some really good episodes picked out. There was a few episodes.
Wait a second, though. I want to show Keith's dad something.
Okay.
Keith's dad, it works like if anybody says it. Like you say it. Say Star Trek.
Star Trek
movie. What stop motion movie marathon?
Star Trek stop motion movie marathon.
See?
Yeah.
But it doesn't work all the time when I say it though.
No, it sure doesn't. You're right.
Yeah, well, like watch Star Trek stop movie.
Marathon. You gotta say it right or pay the money.
Star Trek stop motion movie marathon.
Well, number one, I have turned my communicator into an old-fashioned grenade like they.
That's what happens when he says it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't even know for sure that we're going to heaven. Yeah.
Right. No, you know, those two guys that I showed you guys backstage, like when I was testing the sound and all that, that's Red Letter Media. They have some reviews on Star Trek The Next Generation, the TV show. And I'll tell you what, man, they have some pretty good insight on the show, and they talk about it. And they have the top worst episodes, the top best episodes. I thought it would be kind of a neat thing if all three of us got together and we watched Let's say for example we tackled. Hold on. Let's say for example we tackled
The Brady Bunch? No, man, come on.
no, one of the seasons, like pick out any season at all, and one of us takes an episode from each, or takes each season and watches all 29 episodes or whatever, and then we both come back 2 weeks later or a week later, or however long it takes us to watch it. This is kind of like a homework assignment, okay?
Yep.
Yeah, it already sounds like Lord of the Flies assignment in high school.
Yeah. Well, and then like we make a list, and I make a list of my top 5, and Keith's dad does a top 5, and you do a top 5, and then we can do a bottom 5. You know what I mean?
I would be totally into that.
All right, I'm down.
But my question, but I have all the seasons. So my question, you guys, how are you good? Keith's dad, do you have some of the seasons?
I mean, they're on the internet. I'll
Yeah.
find them.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, they're on the internet, and I have spring and fall.
Spring and fall.
Very funny, Thadgy. You know what that gets you? That gets you this.
Well, number one, I have turned my communicator into an old-fashioned grenade like they had back in 20th century Earth. It's simple, really. You just pull the pin like this. No, number one, wait! Oh, shit! Well, at least heaven's good this time of year. But number one, we don't believe in heaven. Oh, boy. You do this.
There you go.
So I just checked, and Amazon carries all the seasons of Next Generation.
Woohoo! There you go.
So
And
if you Amazon Prime,
I have Amazon Prime.
there you go.
Yeah,
All right.
they don't call me Sagizilla for nothing, you know.
We can do this. What season would you guys like to pick?
All right, definitely not the second season because I can't stand that girl.
Oh, okay. Ooh, the third season, that would have a lot of really good episodes on it, though.
Yeah, we could do the third season.
Okay.
Well, do you guys want me to take the second season, and then we'll just do?
No.
I was gonna say, if you did 1 and I did 2 and he did 3, we'd have the first 3 knocked out.
You don't understand what I'm saying. Like, we all take, like, I say what my pick is, my top 5. He does his top 5 pick, and you do your top 5 pick, the ones you like the best.
Oh, out of the same season.
Right.
Oh, okay, all right, I'm with you now.
And what's going to be really cool about that is we'll see which one of us like come up with the same ones. See what I'm saying? And then we can just talk about it.
Yeah.
Or taco about it.
Yeah. Why don't we do it on Taco Tuesday?
Oh. So,
Are you available on Tuesdays, Keystad?
I am. I'm usually. I missed, I think, last Tuesday, but I'm usually always there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it.
So wait, we got to watch 26 episodes before Tuesday.
Yep.
No, there's no way I could do that before Tuesday.
Not this. Not this upcoming. I mean, let's set a date.
We could do it like 2 Tuesdays from now, maybe.
Okay.
Challenge accepted.
2 Tuesdays from now. We're all gonna write them down. Get our first. I can watch it in one day, but you know
Me too.
I love it.
Can you 26 episodes?
Well, I just don't
45
have
minutes long. That's one day.
Yeah, I just don't normally have that amount of free time, but I will actually have that amount of free time.
Yeah.
For the next few days. So
okay, I lied. It may take me like 2 days.
If you watch 2 episodes, like 2 episodes a day, you could get it done in about a week, right?
Yeah,
week and a half.
Yeah. So let's come back in 2 weeks.
All right.
I
can do that.
Good with you, Saji?
Yeah, and anyone watching, remember season 3 of Star Trek. You guys can watch it too, so you can get your top 5s as well. Season 3
yeah,
of Star
for sure.
Trek.
Season 3 of Star Trek.
Because I'll get deep into it and start talking about different scenes and what makes it so awesome. Like, and I would love to hear, what chat has to say.
Yeah, we should all do that. Just like go in depth.
Yeah, I'm even going to wash my hair right before I wash it.
Yeah. Well, we have in-depth conversations on here.
Oh, yeah, in-depth analysis.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Speaking of which,
Uh-huh.
go ahead, Keystad.
I'm looking at just the episodes that are in season 3, and there are some phenomenal ones. I can already tell you. I don't want to like influence you guys, so I'm not gonna mention them.
Okay.
But there are definitely. Oh, there's that one too. Oh, good golly, this is gonna be a good list. This is gonna be a good list because there are some very major. I mean, we don't have the what is it? What the Medal of a Man?
Man?
The what?
Measure of a Man?
The Measure of a Man. We don't have that one in this season, but there's
Oh.
tons because obviously the Measure of a Man, I hate to say it, is probably going to be one of the best episodes ever created, in my opinion. But we don't have that in this season. But there are definitely some noteworthy episodes in this season, many of them.
Cool.
So I have a feeling we're all going to differ when it comes
it's
to
gonna
our
be
top
it's gonna be
fives.
interesting. Gonna be interesting. And I think Sadji can learn from this experience too.
Well, I mean, I've watched them before, but I've never critiqued them.
Right.
So it'll be my first time looking at them under scrutiny.
I can't wait to see what we all come up with because I know some of us are probably going to come up with some of the same ones.
Yeah. I have a feeling that we'll come up with some of the same ones.
But it'll be interesting to see what our different thoughts are on them too, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what makes them so great, what makes them this, what makes them that, blah, blah, blah. What we noticed stuck out most about them. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah. And why I always associate the smell of lavender with Captain Picard. I mean, I don't understand that either.
No, I don't get that either, my friend.
It's the shampoo I was using when I washed my hair.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. What's up, Keystad?
We have a two-parter. The season finale is a two-parter, and we only get one part as the season finale, so we can't use the second part of it.
Right.
Oh, what do you mean you can't use the second part of it?
Well, we're only doing 3.
Because the second part is season 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I got an idea. We can do season 4 after.
Yeah, so totally can. I mean, we're gonna have to. I mean, you can't watch that one. I mean, in case you didn't know, I'll talk about it. It's the best of both worlds.
Oh, I know.
It's the one where Captain Picard becomes Borg.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how can you not watch the second part of that?
I know. You're gonna watch it. Just watching it, like it's like, well, shit. I got to put it in the next season.
yeah. I'll just watch that next episode just because you can't. I mean. You can't just not. It's like saying and not finishing it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
As a matter of fact, I think I'm just going to watch the first episode of season 4 first, and then I'll start season 3.
Oh boy, Sadji, you're something else, man.
I do. I just if we could, I want to jump over because I just remembered something. AI taking over our universe.
Oh yeah, that's the story. Well, let me go into the story.
Yeah,
first,
go ahead. Go into the story.
and then we'll go into it. Yes, let me go
into the Borg.
I was gonna say something about the Star Trek: The Next Generation stop motion marathon, but no, Sadji cut me right off and said, "Well, wait a minute, guys, we got to do."
You mean the Star Trek stop motion movie marathon?
This is the stop motion marathon.
Marathon stop motion Star Trek movie.
movie marathon motion stop Trek star.
Yes, exactly. Stop, marathon motion, star motion, stop. Never mind. See what you did. But no, I was gonna say, before I get into that story, is when we do that on Sunday now, are we gonna do it on Friday? Whichever's good with you guys.
I'm probably better on Friday than I am Sunday.
All right. How about you, Saji? Are you good on Friday?
Yeah, I don't think I'll be washing my hair on Friday.
Meaning
Okay,
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Right.
tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, that's tomorrow?
Well, what am I agreeing to? I forget.
Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. my time, 8 p.m. your times. You're agreeing to watching Star Trek The Next Generation stop motion marathon.
I'm waiting for the clip.
Oh hell. It reminded me. But no, I have some really good movies there that I actually took and I made remakes of actual episodes.
You mean what kind of? You mean movies for the Star Trek stop motion movie marathon?
Oh, number one, I have turned my communicator into an old-fashioned grenade like they.
I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my channel.
See what I mean? Keith, that it never worked for me. Now you say it.
The Star Trek stop motion movie marathon.
I don't know what's going on, Saji. Maybe you have a glitch.
Let me try one more time.
Oh, okay.
Star Trek stop motion movie marathon.
Oh, number one, I have.
All right.
It kind of worked.
Yeah. I kicked it I kicked it with my Sagizilla Mechazoid foot.
Oh, okay. That's what you did. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so I have like I think it's A Matter of Honor. That's one of them that I remade. Let's see, there's another one I can't think of, but A Matter of Honor is like one of my favorites. It's where Commander Riker goes to the Klingon ship and they have an exchange, and then Mordok, or is it Mordok? Like he comes aboard their ship, and he's such a goofball, that Mordok. You know what I'm talking about, Mordok?
No, I don't really remember it.
Oh yeah, it's that weird alien dude comes over there, and he's like, at first Wesley Crusher mistakes him for another guy that went to the academy. He's like, more what does he say? He's like, so and so, it doesn't look like you had enough time to pass the academy. How is it that you're here? He's like, I am not so and so. I am Mordok. He's like, oh, well, all you guys look alike. I was like, oh, that was kind of racist. You know, but no, not really. But I digress.
Oh, okay. I know who Mordok is now.
Mhm.
I see him. Yep. He's got
Benzite.
that thing in front of him.
He's a benzite.
Yep.
Yeah. So let me light this cigarette, and then my ear's ringing. Hold on, let me slap my head. Oh crap! It's still ringing. Oh. Okay. Anyway, let me light the cigarette, and then I got that story to tell.
That's a Wesley episode.
Mm.
No, isn't that the one where they have to like battle for? Oh, maybe.
The first one is like the one that he mistaked for the guy.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so all right. Here's why I think AI is taking over, and it's so already in society. You see like automated computers, like you walk up and you talk to something and it just automatically does everything for you. We pay all of our bills online. There's no letter writing anymore. There's no need for a postal service. Everything's becoming automated. The only real need for a postal service is like Amazon and packages and eBay and shit like that, right? But for the most part, the human interaction part's been taken out of the equation. Like there's hardly any human interaction. And the point I'm trying to get at is this came so evident. I went to Walmart the other day, and I'll be damned if there was like zero, I'm talking zero registers were open. Like the actual registers where someone's actually checking you out. A checker is what I'm trying to say. Cashier, nobody was at the cashier. And everything was do it yourself, the do it yourself thing, checkout, self checkout. That's what I meant to say. Self checkout. So there was these lines, like I'm talking the long lines, like standing in line at Six Flags type of lines. I mean, they were like two of them, like not just two registers, but I mean, there was two sections where it was all check it yourself. And there was lines. I mean, they were just amazingly impossible. Now, my wife already got through with her purchase. There was one lane open. The lady closed her lane off. And as soon as she closed off her lane, there was nobody. I mean, nobody. Like it was just dead there. Like there was nothing there. And I was so mad because I had a cart full of groceries and I had a lot of other stuff in there, like electronics and whatnot. And I'm like, I really need to get this stuff, but I'm not going to wait in line for 20 or 30 minutes so I can check myself out. And then I'm standing there forever ringing each item up. I'm like, okay, I get that people, one or two items like you just go through fast and it's easier. And I get that, but so much is taken away. I always like going through a person, a checker, if you will. I always go through that because so much is taken away when you don't. When you do it yourself, you got to ring it up yourself. You got to bag it yourself. There's no human interaction. Hey, how are you? Well, how's your day go? And not only that, but you're taking away the jobs of that very person. And with that all being said, I said that story to say this. It is so evident now more than ever that AI, that it's all going to be like you and me talked about this the other day, Keith's where everything's going to be automated. It's going to be a lot like Star Trek, The Next Generation, as a matter of fact. And that's not necessarily a bad thing in a way, but in a lot of ways, it's really sort of the Achilles heel, if you will. It's just, to me, in my opinion, and I want to hear I know you have a lot of thoughts about this. I could see you just anxious to get in front of that mic, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it to you in here just a second. But I really feel that it is the downcline of society, that it's just that we're going to lose sooner rather than later that human connection, that need to talk to people, that need to interact. And it's all going to be replaced with computers. And in some ways, like I said, that could be a good thing. I guess the people that were doing the checking before will then get those jobs of helping people figure out how to run all these things. But at the same time, to me, it's just a sad day in modern history when you go to a store, whether it be a Walmart or a Kroger or a dollar store or whatever, and there's nobody there. It's just like empty. It's just like a ghost town of emptiness. And there's so many people there, and you just can't even get through because there's too many. And that's what's going to end up happening. And it's going to happen all over. It's already, we saw the start of it at banks when you had ATMs, when they started back in the late 80s or whatever, and it's just progressed so much. And now, very little, nobody even goes to the line at the bank. They all go through the ATM. And like I said, everyone's paying their bills online and stuff like that. And I can understand like the convenience of it and all that, but you also lose something little by little. We keep losing and losing and losing until one day it's just us standing in front of a machine going, here is your groceries. Have a good day, sir. Go fuck yourself. I mean, but anyway, I've rambled on for quite some time now. So I'd like to hear what you guys think, starting with you, Keith's dad. I know that's a lot to take in what I just said, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. One,
All right.
would you do away with all the bank ATMs?
Well, no.
They've become quite a useful tool. Would you do away with your smartphone? I mean, how many times do you jump to your smartphone and I mean, this is what technology does. Is it makes it's become so. Not that you've become dependent on it necessarily, but you have information at your fingertips. Everybody is an expert these days.
Right.
You know, everybody can stand on the shoulder of giants by simply doing a quick Google search, which instead of having to go to a library like you used to have to do and open an encyclopedia and do, it's all right there at a moment's notice, and it's absolutely amazing.
I remember when I used to have to ask Jeeves.
Yeah, he has Jeeves.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
You also think at this point in time, and I hate to say it, I know there's a lot of hardworking people out there, and I'm not saying that there aren't any hardworking people out there, right? But statistics show, you know, I'm a numbers guy when it comes to this stuff. We work less now as a society than we have ever worked in the future. You know, you think back in the day, you know, with the hunters and gatherers, you had to literally go get your food every single day. You had to constantly have, you know, you were constantly, like, if you were awake, you were just trying to survive. You know, you look at now, we don't really do that anymore. You know, it's not the moment we wake up, you know, we're trying to survive. Heck, most of us love our weekends. You know, we get out of work at 5. You know, we have a lot more leisure time than we have ever had before, and that is 100% to do with the technology that we created. AI, if used in the correct way, is absolutely amazing. I would love one day to walk into Walmart and have an AI go, "Hey, we already got what you wanted. It's sitting right over here."
Oh yeah. I mean, that would be
you know, but you also got to think the downside of that. The downside of that is that AI has to know what you're wanting, and to do that, it's got to predict, it's got to collect information. It's taking away a little bit of your privacy to get to that. To get to that level. So I would be okay with that as long as it was dealt with correctly. Unfortunately, Google doesn't deal with it very correctly. They really don't.
Well, you know, even when I'm doing, like, when we were snowed in, whatever, I was doing the Instacart and stuff like that. I was nervous about doing that because I'm so particular about my groceries. Like, it have to be a certain way. You know, my bread has to be in there a certain way. I'm so worried that it's going to get squished. And my eggs, like, I go check the eggs, I look at them, and, you know, you as you do, and you know, most people that work for Instacart, they're not going to go that extra mile to check the eggs or whatever. They're just going to throw shit in there. You know, they're not going to look at the expiration dates on the vegetables or on the canned goods or whatever. They're just going to throw that shit in there. Well, I'm so particular about that stuff. So that's where it becomes sort of a devil's crutch for me.
Well, here's the thing.
You know,
the thing.
Wait for it.
You know the thing.
We're on the cusp. Right. But maybe not you and I and Keith's dad, but your daughter, my daughter, Keith's dad, Keith, you know, what they won't even worry about. They won't even think about their groceries. Their refrigerator will know how many eggs are in the refrigerator. Right. The refrigerator will know how long each egg has been in such said refrigerator.
Oh yeah,
it will. It will already know. You can put preset how long you want eggs to be in the refrigerator before they are discarded. So you'll never have an old egg. It'll just automatically know how many eggs you want to have in your refrigerator, and how much yogurt, how much milk, how much cheese, how much beef, how much whatever you've designated. You've already set all of the parameters ahead of time, and now a drone just brings it whenever it needs to be replenished, and you don't even have to think about it.
But
Won't
that
even have to
drone,
think about it.
drone is not going to be able to pick up the egg and see that it's got a crack in it.
No, it'll have a sensor that can scan the egg and tell you exactly what temperature it is and how much yolk and white ratio there is.
That's the other thing, and this one's going to be the big one, is as far as cutting you off socially. Well, I would say without the technology, I wouldn't know you, Hebrew. I wouldn't know Saji. We wouldn't have this show. We wouldn't have people watching us,
Right.
joining in the chat. And so if used correctly, AI and technology have the ability to be absolutely ridiculously awesome. And we can get into Star Trek. I mean, that's what made, and this goes back into Star Trek, that's what made Star Trek The Next Generation so amazing, is they had all this technology.
They knew how to integrate it. Yeah.
Correct. It was integrated correctly. They used it to push their species forward. It wasn't that they could, because things were taken care of, they could focus on other things, versus Deep Space Nine, which is and going forward, which completely just throws that out the window. So that's good use of AI. There's bad use of AI. A lot of advertising companies have a bad use of AI. I work for one. I hate to say it, so I won't mention them, but there is a bad use for them, because like we use what's that, Google AdWords is what it is, and yeah, that's
Well, the thing about AI is you got to keep in mind, Hollywood would have us believe that AI is evil. That AI is like like in the Terminator, that it'll eventually want to make humanity its slave, right? Who is slaving after who, correct, so to speak? Are we slaving after the technology, or is the technology slaving after us, right? And it technically is a double-edged sword, a yin and yang. There is a pretense to all of that. However, I don't think AI. However, yes, I don't think AI is evil, but nor is it good. It's neither. It doesn't care. It has no malice, but it also has no feeling. So if it's in charge, and the cost would be, like, let's say it's taken over our civil defense, and it's saying, yes, it's going to cost there'll be a casualty of collateral damage of 5,000 human lives in New York City, but in return, I will be able to ensure the safety of the rest of the United States. It might make that decision. You see what I'm saying? And if it's and that's where you have to be. That's where it that's where it's like that's where the controversy therein lies. Do you guys agree or disagree?
Well, here's where the rubber meets the road. Is like, I'm so afraid that we're going to become a society, and it may not happen while I'm still alive or while the rest of us is still alive, but I'm always afraid that we're going to become a society of fat farts that sit in a mechanical chair and just sit from a cup that a robot brings us all the time, while robots do all of our work for us, and they do everything for us so much.
Yeah, I resemble that remark, my friend.
Yeah, but I mean, That's the fear that I live under. It's not so much
Yeah.
a fear, but a concern. You know
Well,
what I mean?
you're basically talking about Wally. You
Yes.
know what we ended up doing, and Saji. If I was to put something on you, because you mentioned a couple of things, you're more talking about Isaac Asimov's three rules, right? Is that what you were kind of?
Well, refresh my memory. I have heard such said rules, but do you know them offhand?
The three rules. The first rule is you must do what a person says. You're supposed to do everything a person says.
Right,
Um,
and one
no-
of them is do not hurt humans. Right.
Number two is you cannot hurt humans, and number three says something about um indirectly hurting her. Hold, let me see the three laws of robotics. That's what it is. All right. They are: a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. A robot must obey the orders given to it by human beings, except where such laws would conflict with the first law. And then the third law is: a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. Which, I mean, it's what's funny is this is science fiction it's 75 years old, these three laws. But these three laws are so almost simplistic and perfect that they exist even today. The difference is, and this is what in iRobot, the movie iRobot, in the movie iRobot, that they've used what the AI did was it used these three laws and determined that humans are in danger from themselves, and so they do that. They basically are murdering people to take over humans so that they can make them safe. So they take these three laws and kind of look at a very grand scale of it, and that's what allows them to do what they did in the movie iRobot. But in reality, it wouldn't really work that way. In reality, we'd have more of a constitution.
It would be like a cyborg Supreme Court justice.
No, what I mean is in the United States we have a constitution. The constitution doesn't say, you know, what freedoms the government gives to us. That's not what the Constitution's there for, and I'm including the Bill of Rights too. What the Constitution's there is says what you can do. We tell the government what it can do. And so when I speak about like AI, it's not that AI will determine it'll say this is what you can do, and it'll have like a 10th Amendment where if it's not one of these things, it reverts to humans. And so that's how AI will end up working is more of a
and then the bigger question then, because it follows all of those directives and if then statements as a program in a chip, right? Because it's within the parameters of what it can physically accomplish. But what about when it becomes self-aware?
I was going to say that. What about
when it becomes self-aware and it thinks of itself as its own sentient being?
No, I think no. Go ahead.
So when it gets to that point, does rules schmules? If then whatever, man. I can do whatever the heck I want, right?
I mean, a lot of that is science fiction, though, Saji. I mean, yeah, you do have AIs. Like, let's take Data for an example. We'll use him as sort of an example of what can happen when an android becomes a sentient being, as you mentioned. He considers himself a live, living, breathing human being, or as human possible without emotions. And there was actually an episode, and I think that's the episode you were talking about, Measure of Man, where Picard actually has to defend. I almost said David. What did I say, David? Data David. I don't know where I got that crap from, but he has to defend Data, and he actually makes a point that Data really is much more than just a toaster. But of course,
Yeah. And of course, I say that playing devil's advocate because I'm trying to spark the conversation, but I'm not really trying to be argumentative about it or anything.
No, of course not. What I would say is I would actually throw those words out, just completely. Like we have a thought of what sentience is, right? But when you go through and you can't really define it. For instance, I may be aware of my own sentience, but I can't prove Hebrew sentience. I can't prove Sagi sentience. I can't. So the word itself, the terminology of sentience, is kind of, it's not a very good word to use, because how many times that you see somebody and you go, oh my goodness, that person is going to do this, and they go and do it. Well, that's not sentient.
No, and
So,
you also, Keith, said you take me to this point. It's getting so clever that sometimes you're fooled the other way around. The AI on the phone sounds so human, you're convinced that it's a real person.
well, that is something specific. The Korabashi test, is that?
Yeah, I mean,
Is
it's
that what
getting
it's
so
called?
good at it. Like you like, let's say, like I get a AI, like my insurance company is reminding me that I need to pay my bill, right? And I'm talking
Turing
to
test.
it. Yeah, and it's like it answers the phone and says my name and explains to me who they are, like and it sounds just like a real live person is on the phone with me. And I say something like, "Give me a second, I need to grab my wallet," like I would to a human, because I'm still feel like it's a human. And then it says, "Oh yeah, that's cool, no worries," like a real human would say. And so then I grab it and I'm reading off the numbers, and then all of a sudden I catch it. Like I say the date wrong, and it says, "Please make sure you use this," like the date format, and it sounds robotic. Like, oh man, like it had me fooled for so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. The Turing test. That's the test. We haven't passed it yet. No one's been able to pass the Turing test. The Turing test is when you interact with an AI and you don't realize it's an AI. That's what the Turing test is.
it's
So
getting better and better. It
it
is
is
really.
getting better. The movie Ex Machina. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
That movie is all about the Turing test. The difference being is the girl there is obviously an AI. She's obviously a robot, but even so, will you get emotional response as if that person was human? And
Right.
that's really the entire premise
And
of the
that's
movie.
really, yeah. And then what is the most best accepted response? And it knows and it's picking up things like your inflection, the cracks in your voice, things in the background where you're at. Your address. Are you in the city? Are you in the rural area? It's grabbing all kinds of data from you to make sure it gives you the best possible experience. Now, would you rather have that or some $10 an hour person who barely speaks English from a third world country answer the phone? Which one would you be
That's
more
a good
pleased?
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good question. That's a good question. And yeah, I think I don't know if you know, but I own a company, and I work from home here, and my main profession is automation. Um, and so when it comes to the progression of automation, now I don't go into AI. I'm not that kind of, but what I do is I take simple tasks and I automate them when it comes to computer, reporting on like Microsoft Excel is really what
Like
I do.
writing macros and stuff.
Yeah, pretty much like that, and it's very sometimes it can get quite complicated. Like I can take something that takes 6 hours and turn it into a push of a button. So the automation is real when it comes to that kind of stuff. And really it's all about just saving time. And so when we're talking about maybe we're different because when we talk about automating, that is quite different than AI because with AI you have to have a semblance of AI is got a goal, a purpose in mind, right? And it's subject to change. While automation, it's not really subject to change. It's just a um I mean, it might get complicated, but it's really just something people can do, only it does it faster.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with when we talk about AI, we're talking about not knowing what it's thinking, not knowing even if it. I don't. I don't even know if we can go that far.
AI can adapt. AI can adapt to fluctuancy. Like for instance, like the AI when they're building these, like when U.S. robotics is building these AI dogs, right? The robotic dogs. They kick them and push them on purpose to make them
Oh
stumble,
yeah, I
so that
remember us.
they learn how to be pushed, so that
Uh,
if they don't fall when they get pushed.
I'm gonna make a couple statements right now, and I'm very glad Armor Up's not here because I'd make him very mad at me right now, right? Because what we're end up going into is we're going into free will, and I am very much on the fence of free will because you have to define it, and you got to try to think of yourself as a robot because you kind of basically are, in a manner of speaking.
Mhm.
You know,
Except you're not
you're
made of, except you're not made of metal parts and all that. But yeah,
right, but your electrical impulses
hmm
and your decisions, right, are based on genetics and environment. Those are the two things that are based on. So when it comes to if somebody had the same genetics and the same experiences that you do, would they be capable of making a different decision? And I don't
Yes,
think
yes, I can say that's true because you can have two twin brothers living in the same household under the same alcoholic parents, and one of them turn out to be a complete loser, and the other one be super successful because of the way that the way they choose to cope. There are two totally different methods.
you
yeah,
got
but
me
that's
thinking
also an
about
experience difference. Two people, that's still technically not having the same
you
experience.
got me thinking about twin brothers. I don't mean to cut you off, Keith's or
No,
nothing.
go ahead.
But I want to jump in there and say this real quick before I forget about it. Twin brothers, actually, Saji, there's been experiments done if they're identical twin brothers or identical twin sisters. Like there was this one dude who lived all the way in I want to say Montana or something like that, and the other one lived all the way in Illinois. Let's just say that. I'm not sure where the actual places were, but they ended up marrying the same type of woman, doing the same type of job, having the same type of children, and their mannerisms and all of this stuff were exactly identical, yet they never lived or grew up in the same household. They didn't know who their parents were. They were separated at birth, yet ended up almost doing the same exact thing as the other one. So
Yeah,
I
and
just
you know what?
bring that
That
up.
I agree with that, but also I get what Keith's dad is saying too. But you have situations where people are in dire or subpar life situations and come out handling it one way, and they don't always handle every like similar situations. You have examples of people handling them multiple different ways. So I mean,
It,
I think that it really is a case by case basis, but at the same time I understand what you mean though. And if you look at the numbers, there's probably a strong percentage that of how it usually turns out
well, you get
versus the
what
other way.
what I'm thinking is less twins. But I do want to mention real quick, Hebrew. I have a half brother, right? We have different dads. He's 2 years older than me, and there's an interesting story that he didn't know his dad. They didn't know each other at all. They did never met, right? And all of a sudden, when my brother was 10 years old, he went up to my mom and asked if he could play a musical instrument. And my mom asked which one, and he said he wanted to play the trombone of all instruments, which was incredibly bizarre because his dad plays the trombone. Like, his actual dad is a music person, and even to this day, my dad, my real dad, is more computer oriented, right? And I'm computer oriented, and we had the same dad growing up. My dad was technically my brother's dad, growing up, even though genetics were different. But my brother is a musical person. He's an artistic person, and that all comes from genetics. But what I wanted to say when it came to that is right. Let me close your eyes and let me think of a what if scenario here, right? You got the Big Bang. We all started from the Big Bang. We all started, or I mean, just let's imagine, all these atoms. I'm Christian and I believe in the Big Bang. And all these atoms were placed in a particular way, and they all exploded across the universe, and evolution started, and planets were created, and all that stuff, right? And so the atoms that are within me, the atoms that are within you, all originated from that. So take two Big Bangs next to each other. Here's the what if scenario. All the conditions of that Big Bang are the same. At the everything about it, every atom placement, everything. The idea of free will is that as time moves, those two universes will no longer be equal. They started off equal, but then they'll continue on and not be equal. And I don't believe that's the case. I believe that if you had two exact same starts, the outcome would also be exactly the same. And in that case, free will is more of a concept than in a reality.
Yeah, and I want to say to that, I see what you're saying. I do. Believe me.
Yeah, metaphorically, let me say this.
Okay.
Here's where my brain just.
Go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No problem. No, I
don't
just
want to.
Quickly,
go ahead.
Real quick. I know you don't want to lose your thought. I know.
Go ahead. I won't lose mine. You go ahead.
Okay. No, like I said, I hear.
If you want, I'll talk.
And it's like, yeah, there is certain times, like you get up in the morning, you do your daily routine, you do this, and you go one way, and something happens, and you go another way, and something else happens. There's certain things that is sort of out of your hands, right? Like,
that's exactly how I was. Exactly with what I was going to say. Now let me say this.
Go ahead.
All right. So you're standing on the top of the tallest building in the world, and you're holding two metal balls, and you drop each one of them out of your left and right hand simultaneously. You can say with pretty good confidence that they're both going to hit the sidewalk at the same time. Yes?
Sure.
Yes.
I drop two feathers, let them release from my hand at the same time. Do you still have that same confidence?
No.
Why? Because a lot can happen on the way down to those feathers, can it?
Yeah.
Well, they're different because the feathers would be different.
They could be identical feathers.
They're still placed in different space-time.
Yeah.
So the environmental, if they were two
there's too much that can happen to a feather's journey along his journey. There's too much variance that can occur. And that's the missing variable is the variance.
Well, then let me say the same thing and not use science, but actually use faith, right? Well, I'm going to attack this with faith, right? God sent Jesus down, died for your sins, right? Now, he didn't die for your sins 2000 that you made 2000 years ago. He didn't die for sins you made yesterday. He died for all of your sins. Would you say that's correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Past, present, and future, which means God is knowledgeable about the sins that you made, you're making, and you will make. God knows what you're going to do in the future. And if God already knows what you're going to do in the future, and he has a plan for at the end, do you actually have free will?
No, I don't believe that he really believes that he knows exactly what sin you're going to commit and when you're going to commit it, just that you will sin.
So you don't think God knows what the future holds?
I don't think he knows exactly what sins you are going to choose with your free will along the way. I think that he knows there will be sins that do occur, but how you're going to pick and choose and which ones you're going to have the hardest time with, I think that's yet to be determined when it occurs.
No, so again, you don't believe that God knows what the future holds as far as literally everything, because now we got
No, because if he already knew, that would totally destroy free will.
It
that
would.
Yeah.
But,
So why that would contradict the whole. That would be, that's too obvious of a contradiction to be able to believe in both. So I have to say I totally don't believe that to be the case. No, also in the course of my life, the way that it's ran, I know that there have been times when it was decisions that I made, even though I could have. I was even sometimes compelled to choose differently and should have.
Well,
And
we
plus,
got.
let me bring this out too. If you believe in, like, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but the multiverse theory is which we have different paths that we go down, and we have decisions that we can make, which will affect different paths, will affect our life in different various ways. And my belief is that we have already done some of these things at various universes, but I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, of course.
No, because now you're talking about
like,
quantum mechanics,
right?
You know, and that's why it changes.
Yeah, multiple timelines and multiverses. Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's fun. That's fun stuff, though. Yeah.
What I'm saying is, we've already made those decisions that we didn't make. In other words, like, our path has already been mapped and planned out for us, but we have the free will to make those decisions either way, but it's all going to turn out at the end. But as far as sin goes, I think that, in my opinion, now this is just my opinion, I'm more along the lines of Sagi's thinking, where we do have the choice. Like, we have the choice to do this or do that. We have the choice to cheat or not cheat on our wives. We have the choice to steal a candy bar, or we have a choice to take that candy bar back to the store. We have the choice to, like, some guy pisses us off and we get our gun out and shoot him, or we could just sit there and mumble to ourselves or flip him off and go a different direction with it. Like, we don't have to murder that guy, but
now you tell me. Now you tell me.
I tell you.
Are you sure?
Sure?
Where were you at on August the 12th, 19? I never mind.
No,
because first of all, the idea is that who lives and who dies is determined by God, correct? Right. So if somebody dies in some aspect, that is God's doing. No.
Again, I think it's. I don't think that God is out there directing the events that occur. I think he creates the environment and allows us
around it.
Yeah,
he did flood the earth. He did throw, fire and brimstone at a city.
Well, but those were examples of him making a point, like in biblical times. But it's not like these are regular. I can't remember any Sodom and Gomorrah tales occurring anytime recently.
But isn't the idea that your life, has purpose, even if it doesn't, it could be like the butterfly effect, where for instance, you could see that, like, the reason why God created Hitler was to remind us of the evil in this world, so that it doesn't rise to a level above what he did, and so that was a sacrifice that was made for us to keep moving. And
I never heard. That's an interesting concept. That's the first time I've ever even heard that.
Oh, really? Because you look at the predictions. There are predictions of apocalypse, right? Everyone thinks that the end of times is going to happen, right?
Well, yeah. I'm pretty sure that we're every day we're inching a day closer to it. Wouldn't you agree? If there's going to be one, yeah.
Yeah, if there's going to be one, technically we are.
Yeah.
Right?
Here's the thing, though. There's been prophets, but there's also been false prophets. And that's the Bible warns us about that, about the false prophets that are going to come and the false Christ. Jesus himself said there will be Christ that will come in my name to claim to be Christ. And so that's not all. That doesn't have anything to do with we are preempt to sin.
No, it does, though, because now if God says that there's going to be false prophets, right? He is predicting false prophets. Is he just guessing that there's going to be false prophets? Or does he know? Right? He knows. Yeah. So those false prophets, do they have free will?
So basically, are you saying that he knows exactly who the false prophets are going to be?
Actually, let me go to the prime example here. The prime example is Judas. Okay, if you remember, after Judas did everything that he did, he actually blamed God, because he came to the realization that what he did was necessary. It was already written that this was going to happen.
But Judas helped himself, though.
The what?
Because of the guilt.
Yeah, he murdered himself with the guilt of going, oh my God, this had to happen. Why did you do this? And it doesn't technically say, I don't think it technically says he actually killed himself, but that's the generated, that's the accepted. So I go with that. But yeah, the idea that even Judith realized he didn't have free will, because he had to do what he had to do. You couldn't have the sacrifice of Jesus without Judas doing what he did.
Yeah. And so that really does raise the question, and that's the best example, like right there, that you presented. And I'd have to say that the only like right off the back knee-jerk reaction, I want to argue against it, right? So I'm trying to say, well, what's the argument against it? The argument against it that I come up with is it's not so much that he knew that that he knew that Judas would betray him. He knew that he would betray him under the circumstances of, he knew Judas's character, because he knew that the other guy was going to give him an offer that he couldn't refuse. You know what I mean?
But he also said that talking about what is it, John? That John would deny him three times.
Yes. And then Simon. And again Simon. And again he knew that he knew that he would be in a position where he would be forced to, and he knew from his character that he would again. And that was using prediction of character in a way to prove his godliness, to prove to prove that
proves free will. Because now you have two people. You have the people asking Simon questions, and you have Simon responding to them. One of those people no longer has free will because it's been predicted.
No, you know what the real question really is there? It's not that he does it. It's the fact that he gave it to him one last time. He's told him, hey, you're going to do this. I'm predicting it. I'm telling you, you will. So
Yeah.
if I'm saying, hey, man, this is your last opportunity to use your free will to choose not to. Yet,
But then you have the people that asked him that said, I recognize you, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
did they not have free will to ask that question? What if they decided not to ask it?
I
No,
don't
they
know what
had
you
to.
lost me. You lost me at that part. Go
Okay.
back and give me more context.
Okay. So when Simon denies knowing Jesus, that's what we're talking
Right.
about. He
Right.
said that, hey, I recognize you as the guy who followed Jesus, and he said, no, I wasn't that man. I wasn't with him, right?
Right.
But those people asked him that question, right?
Right.
Jesus predicted that happening, right?
Yes.
So are the people asking the question, do they no longer have free will?
Mm,
Because
no, do they not have free will because they recognized them? They were forced to recognize them?
No, but
Is that what you're saying?
not that they're forced to ask now. Because what if
They're
they
forced
didn't
to
ask?
ask. Well, it was probably more of a case of him being exposed to them, God using his will to make sure they did recognize him, knowing that when they did recognize him, they would naturally ask.
Oh man, we could go on this forever.
Yeah, this could go on
because
all night long.
when it comes to
isn't
religion and free will, there is
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not really trying to bust your balls. I'm just trying to give you, I'm just trying to logically look at it. Yeah.
Because if you want to know how I feel, right, and this goes back to a little bit of a theological I'm losing it. It's past midnight. So when I think of God, right? Here's how I think of him. I think of him a little bit more scientifically, right? Is we live in 3 dimensions, right? And we move forward in time. If you're familiar with Carl Sagan, he's used this terminology many times, right? The flat earther story, if you're familiar with it, right? And so we're 3-dimensional creatures and we move through time, right? When I think of God, I think of God being more of a 4th-dimensional type of creature who's capable of seeing past, present, and future all at the same time, right? That way, when he performs a miracle, or what we would think of miracles, he doesn't have to just have it happen, right? He could change initial conditions that would also solve the problem, if that makes sense, right? And that's perfectly capable of a 4th-dimensional creature to do that.
Right. See, that's where you kind of lose me when you go into using the word creature, because where you would put creature, I would say creator. And where you say watcher, I would go back to creator too. Because when I think of God, I think of everything of him creating everything as like a kind of like we're in a sandbox like this. We're in God's sandbox. He made the sandbox for us, but it's ours to play in. And he's not really. I mean, yeah, you can get in his good grace, and better things may happen for you because you seek God and you follow him, and he rewards you for those for that commitment and having faith in him. But it's not like he's constantly every day manipulating and spinning things and making he really wants to just watch and look. It's like he's got an ant farm. He wants to look at it more than he wants to influence it.
Well, I'll say this on the whole free will thing. There's actually a passage that said that there was a guy that argued about the devil. He said, well, why did God allow the devil to even exist? Like, he could crush the devil at any second under his heel. And there's actually a passage that says the reason, like, the devil asked God for all of his power, and God said, no, you ain't getting that. So he sent him to earth, and the devil fell to hell, and he had his own domain right here on earth, which he could have his own power. And the reason why God didn't crush him right then and there was because he gave the devil free will. So that was an actual passage. And I think there was an argument about it that said, well, so he actually did, in a way, give him all unlimited power that he wanted, but it was power to rule over hell and not anything else.
Yeah, you said a key word though.
Mm-hmm.
If you're given free will, do you have free will? Right.
Well,
And not
yeah,
only that is there's a prediction of a war happening between heaven and hell.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And Satan is predicted to lose. So you're saying that Satan is prophesized to lose. I don't even want to say predicted, prophesized to lose. Right. Not to mention, without Satan and without those other fallen angels, do you have temptation? Will temptation exist without Satan? And the answer is probably a no. You're not going to have any of that. So you wouldn't have anything that would tempt you away from God. And so you kind of need the temptation. I hate to say it, so that you can choose God. Otherwise, Satan being sent to earth, it seems like it would be part of the plan.
I mean, I think in the epicness of everything, that is the truest statement of them all, because I mean, the hero you admire most is the one that defeated, the baddest villain, right? I mean, you watch a guy, beat the crap out of a milkman who forgot to pick up the empty bottle of milk. Now,
I am absolutely torn when it comes to this conversation, because I can argue the other side of it just as well.
Right. But if there was some evil, big, dark, scary guy, with a big, bad, evil weapon about to knock your house down, and you tackled him in your front lawn and wrapped him up like a pig, then you're a hero, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I like your milkman thing better, man. That was hilarious. I just imagined you like going down the street with a bowling pin and just beating the shit out of the milkman.
There was a belief. Now, I'm not Mormon. But I did listen to them. They came to my door once, and I did sit and talk with them numerous times. And one of the things that they talked about really rang true, and I kind of brought it into my own belief system, was that we existed prior to being born. And that quote is in the Bible as saying that I knew thee before you were in the womb. And so that our souls, like Michael mentioned just now? Someone mentioned souls. Meal of Fire. Yeah. Our souls existed to being in our mother's womb. And if that's the case, then it totally makes why we're on earth, for me, makes sense. Because if we existed prior to being in the room and we were just souls, and we were all, let's say, in heaven, and all we known was heaven, and all we know, we're very spoiled children. We don't know the difference between good and evil. We don't know how good we have it, because we don't know how bad it can be. And so we get sent to earth, we get tempted by Satan, more of a proof. That way, when we do go back to heaven, or when we do go to heaven, we're more appreciative of what we're given, versus what we had before. We just didn't know. And if that's the case, then Satan, while a bad guy, has purpose within this grand plan. He's necessary. And it's true, because if you remember the story of Job, right? I mean, just to summarize it really quick, this is God and Satan in a bar. They're having a few drinks, and Satan is kind of like double daring God, that, hey, I could take one of your guys and I can make them hate you. And God says, no, you can't. Here, take Job. He's my best. Do whatever you want to him. God gives the devil permission. He gives him permission to do all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, so to say that God isn't capable of bad things, in that case, I honestly think he was. He did give Satan permission to do all these things that he did, and he really messed Job up. I must say, Satan really did mess Job up on that. And Job's response at the very end is, God, why did you let this happen? And do you remember what?
Remember that story? Also, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
But in the story, he also says you could do anything you want with him, but don't mess with his free will.
He does say that. He does say that. Now, when he goes back to God, when Job does go back to God and question him about it, do you remember what God's response was? I'm God.
Yeah.
You don't know what my plan is, which means that God does have a plan.
You're right.
He knows what's going to happen, and don't question it. There's really what the moral of the story is that I have a plan and don't question it. Unfortunately,
he gave back all his stuff plus tenfold or something like that.
Yes, he did. He did give it all back. However, I mean that's quite torturous, especially considering that he gave him permission.
And he will do that to us from time to time. Like he will test us.
Right.
Test our strength, our courage, our love for him,
Right. And then you also got to keep in mind that you have temptation. That is definitely one thing that the devil kind of is joined at the hip with, you might say. But then you also have other other things that come into play, because in heaven you're never cold, you're never hot, you're never hungry, you're never thirsty, you never experience pain, you never experience I don't know, I assume you're just always happy, but do you ever cry? I don't know.
No. Well, here's the thing also is you ever hear that saying, unnecessary evil? Necessary evil?
Yes.
But do you ever experience jealousy or envy or greed? I don't think you have a need for those emotions. No. So what I'm getting at is you might want to come to Earth just to have those experiences.
Exactly. Because if you subscribe to the concept, which almost everybody does, that God created everything and everything. Right, that if it's there, God created it. Satan does not have the power to create. Right, so when you think about anything,
that's why he's jealous. That's why he got jealous.
Correct. For instance, the more you think about it, the more you go, well, if God were a human being, he's not. But if he were a human being, we may call into question his morals on certain things. We don't, because he's got this big plan. But you got to think, God created cancer. God did flood the earth and murder a whole bunch of people. Yeah.
I disagree with you on God creating cancer. I don't think he didn't create cancer. He created. What makes you think? Well, I think that cancer was, I won't say a creation by humans, but it was sort of a thing that humans kind of brought, like all the other disease that we sort of brought, that sort of evolved into cancer. It was sort of like a genetic.
I think it's a byproduct of our intellectual evolution.
What I'm getting at is how it's a mutation of our DNA, and mutations can go either way. They can either help you or they can go against you. And it's just a DNA structure that grows into a cancer.
Yeah, I would say think deeper into that, because even the cancer causing, the farther back you go into that thought process, the more it's created by God. Even the items that cause cancer are created by God.
But why?
The ability to die.
But why just cancer? Like, why not
Well,
Alzheimer's? Why not
all that.
Parkinson's? Why not
The ability
arthritis?
to die comes from God.
I think that it's just. I think when you create life and you have a living organism, the pain and sickness go hand in hand with it. Like the threat of getting sick, the threat. I think that's part of living. Like you have to. Like there is no being alive, and they're not being escaping death.
We're still on that mile of fire, because the idea of free will, right, means that you have the ability to make choices based on good or bad. The thing is that both of those good or bad options are initially created by God. That's what I'm trying to say, is that the purpose behind it, of all these things, for instance, think of the 10 Commandments, right? The ability to murder somebody is a gift, for lack of a better term, granted to you by God. You can choose not to do it, but the ability to do it is given to you by God.
The ability, actually, I mean, yeah, we all have that ability.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at a tiger. He has fangs that rip deep into the neck of its prey. I mean, yeah, when it's to be designed to be able to kill or capable of it. That's
Here's the thing.
A normal thing, right?
When we were humans and we were first here on Earth, after we got kicked out of the Garden of Eden, we were doomed to die, right? Like he said, you will die now that you've broken my commandment of eating from that tree, or whatever the case was.
Right.
So as humans, we had to survive, and we had to kill things to eat. So we were given that ability to kill, to survive, to eat, or to defend ourselves.
Yeah. It's part of being in the cycle of life. Yeah, you have to have that. You have to have a spot on the pyramid, so to speak.
But with that being said, we were given the ability to kill for survival and to eat and to defend ourselves. But it's how we use that ability. Like, it's our decision to kill a human being with that ability, whether we want to or not.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
And like monkeys or gorillas, one of them could go ape shit and go kill all the other gorillas.
Yeah,
but rarely does it ever happen. I mean,
but that was intended. So we are, if where we're standing right now, right, is planned by God. You know, up until, let's say, this very second, then that would mean that putting the tree with the fruit of knowledge of good and evil,
in the middle,
put it right dab in the middle, that he knew Adam and Eve, or Eve, would partake in it. He knew this was going to happen, because otherwise you wouldn't need anything else. I mean, it's to say that God would put.
I think he was testing their faith, and he was testing their obedience to him, and Satan got in the middle of that, got in between them and God. And here's the thing I just wanted to point out real quick. You know, everyone has this vision of hell being, you know, damn fire and torture and all this stuff forever and ever, where in reality, and if you ask the Jews don't believe in hell, right? Like, they don't believe in all that, like the fire and brimstone and all that stuff, right? But they do believe, and I think it says in the Old Testament also, is that the real hell, like hell could be a dimension, like where we live now on Earth could be considered hell, because the real idea of hell is to be separated from God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Have you seen my bathroom? I mean, come on.
Right?
Does God have the ability to stop Satan? The answer's got to be yes, right?
Mhm.
It's got to be yes. So when Satan went and intervened and started talking to Eve and said, which is very bizarre, he said a whole bunch of truths. He deceived her with truth, which was very interesting.
Oh, yeah. He always tells a little bit of truth.
Yeah. That's the problem with Satan is we call him the deceiver, and the king of lies or whatever. But in reality, Satan's biggest deceits all come from truth. And but
All
to think-
snake oil salesmen's products do have a little bit of real snake oil in them, my friend.
But to think that God couldn't have stopped Satan from doing that, of course he could have. It would be limiting God to think that he didn't have the power to stop that situation from happening.
The question is, why didn't he want to? Because he wanted to let them practice their first attempt at free will.
Did he? Or did we already know that?
If he already knew what they would do, why would he do it in the first place?
What
would be the point of even doing it?
Tell a story?
No,
that's a good question, Saji. That is a good question.
Yeah. I think he wanted to test humans' ability to deny themselves of sin to begin with. Like he wanted to see if we were strong enough in our faith and are strong enough in our devotion.
He had a brand new prototype. He wanted to give it the ultimate test right off the rip.
Well, yeah, that too. Yeah. That's a good metaphor, Saji. Gosh dang, Saji.
You see what I did though?
Yeah.
We talking about AI, right? And talking about AI free will, and it goes into the question of, well, do we technically have free will? And that's what we're talking about, Lothar, in case you were wondering. That's what ended up happening was the fear that we have for AIs when just the terminology of free will itself is subject to questioning because we are atoms. And we are electrical impulses. That's
you
what
you never notice how close atom is to atom? Ever notice that?
No, that's not by accident. I don't think that's by accident, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because that was the smallest unit. That was they initially they called it, that was the creator, was that particle. So they called it atom, but spelt it with an O. And ATOM, but I think this
is a really good debate, a good discussion. I'm glad that you done that, man. It turned it into a good debate. Look what we have here right now.
Yeah, I mean, if we all sat here and just said, "Yeah, you're right" all the time, that would be a very boring show.
Of course.
Yeah,
it would be. It would be a boring show. Going back to AI, if we want to make it a little lighthearted, here you go. Ready? My Alexa is very, very intelligent. Hold on. Ready. And she knows how to pass gas. Did you know that? My Alexa, fart.
That was a quick one. Try asking me for a very squelchy fart. Or say random.
I won't do more, but yes, my Alexa, stop.
That was a very squelchy one.
What?
Try asking me for a gooey fart. Or say random.
Alexa, exit. Okay, there we go. Thank God. All right. So I learned that in the past week that my Alexa knows how to fart.
Oh, wow. Good to know, man.
I'm going to turn her off while I taught. Okay. But she is quite intelligent. As far as AI goes.
Ask Alexa if we ever traveled to the moon.
Alexa, have we ever traveled to the moon?
Here's something I found on the web. According to hubpages.com, we have been to the moon as part of the Apollo project.
Oh, that's it. But she knows my voice. So she actually yeah, Alexa, who am I?
I think you're Keith's dad. This is Keith's account.
Let me ask her who I am, okay?
I don't know. Hold on. Yeah, hold on 1 second.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
Alexa, who am I?
You're gonna have to say it faster than that.
Okay. Alexa, who am I?
I'm not sure who's speaking, but you're in Keith's account. To teach me to recognize your voice, just say, Alexa, learn my voice.
All right. Well, no, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, she because she knows who I am just by my voice. When I ask her to, like, if I ever ask her to call somebody, she'll use my phone to make that call.
Okay.
Without even asking me. Oh yeah,
you could probably ask her to ding your phone so you can find it.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
What is it? Right. Alexa, call my phone.
Calling Keith's dad.
Cool.
Alexa, hang up. Yeah, she does. She'll call my phone.
Now, if you would have picked up the phone, would it have said, "What's up, Keith Dad? This is Alexa."
I have no idea what. I've never answered it.
Oh, okay. I'm just giving you a call, like you asked me to. So what's up?
But I mean, that is.
You should ask Alexa, who's the most powerful man in the universe?
Alexa, who is the most powerful man in the universe?
Here's something I found on the web. According to Quora.com, He-Man is the most powerful man in the universe.
What?
Oh, that's great.
Oh, Lothar, brownie points on that one. I like this one. Is Alexa, what is the meaning of life and everything?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, the answer is 42.
Huh?
Oh wait, it's
That's
Alexa,
from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Life, the universe, and everything.
The answer is 42, but the question is more complicated.
It's from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
They ask that question, they get the answer 42, but they don't actually know what the question is.
It's way more complicated than that.
Yeah. Well, they find out in later books, in a universe, you can only have one of the two. You can only have the question in one universe and the answer in another universe.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I use my Alexa so often. It's just really, she's become quite an extension of me.
Would you say she knows you better than you know yourself?
Sometimes she does remind me of certain things. Like, for instance, every once in a while, if I have smart bulbs in my house. My house is lit up by smart bulbs, and so I can tell her to, like, turn off the kitchen, right? Or I'll set up a new bulb. Let's say I'm in my den. I have 3 light bulbs in my den, and I set up a new light bulb, right? When I ask her to turn it on, she'll actually come back and be like, "Hey, by the way, is this in the den?" She'll, like, just know. Not to mention, if I ask her to play a movie, she knows what room I'm in, so she'll play it on the TV that I'm in. Like,
isn't that kind of creepy though?
Isn't that creepy? It's creepy. Yeah. It's incredibly creepy. But yeah, she knows what room I'm in, so she knows what TV to put it to. She is, as far as AI goes, I mean, even though she's a small little circular box, she is incredibly smart when it comes to the AI in certain areas. So we're getting there.
But when you log into Pornhub, does she close the blinds and dim the lights?
Well,
I'm just saying. I'm asking for a friend.
I think she does. She does. If you ask her questions like that, she'll like if you ask her to marry you, I think she says, "I like you, but I don't like you," or something like that.
Okay, all right.
But you can ask her questions, and she'll seem self-aware, even though she's technically not. It's just deeply programmed questions, and that's what it brings to that. Even if you had some robot that was sentient, how could you technically prove that robot was sentient? Because I can't prove you're sentient, let alone a robot.
Right. Well, I usually wear like nonstick deodorant, but not always.
but when you do wear nonstick deodorant, oh brother, it really non-sticks.
Yeah. Well, you didn't know my scent, Dean, so I.
Oh, okay.
Sentient. Oh, good golly. Yeah. I was wondering how we got to deodorant, but yeah.
Right.
But that's where it goes to when we talk about the words like sentient and free will. It's really like we could never prove that a robot had sentience or free will because we can't prove anybody has sentience or free will. I can't prove to you without opening a Bible that you have free will.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't prove to me that you have free will.
I mean, technically, like let's say we're standing at the top of a bridge, right? And there's water underneath us. Yeah,
we're always staying on top of something.
Yeah, right. And we're both standing there, and you say, "I'll jump if you jump," and you say, "No, I'll jump if you jump," right? And I'm saying, "No, I just want to jump if I want to jump, and you jump if you want to jump." That's the difference, right?
I don't know.
Because if I'm saying I'll do it if you do it, I have no free will. I'm giving my free will to you. When you jump, I'm going to jump. But if we say to each other, "No, I'll jump if I want to jump, and you jump if you want to jump," we're not like we're necessarily going to die. I mean, we could survive the jump into the river. I mean, sure, it's a risky thing to do, but we ultimately have to decide for ourselves, right?
Well, yeah, maybe not. Maybe you jumped out of a plane and you want to will yourself to not fall anymore, but you can't. You're not capable of doing it. You're going.
Well, no, that's physically impossible.
Right. It's physically impossible.
That's a terrible example.
Right. But the next action, for instance, if I tell you you're going to fall asleep in within the next couple of the next 50 hours, did I take away your free will?
No, I can go to sleep in 1 hour if I want to.
Right, but within the next 50 hours, you're going to fall asleep.
Well, yeah, that's a reasonable thing to say because I would have a hard time staying up any longer than that.
Right, so you're not capable of staying up, right? But the idea is let's say you're going to go pick out a book. The idea is that God already knows what book you're going to pick out, so your free will, even though you think you're choosing, doesn't actually exist.
Well, what implies that He already knows what book I'm going to pick out? Where did you come up with that idea?
Because He already knows what sins you're going to make.
Oh, well, see, but I don't. That's where we disagreed before. I forgot.
We did disagree. We did disagree.
Let's disagree to agree, or agree to. I don't know. How's it go? But
with that being said, I think we went back in a time loop.
Good conversation.
Yeah, we nailed it the first time.
Okay, so
I want to go back and listen to this.
Right. Yeah, it was a good conversation. I liked it. But here's the thing.
You know.
The thing.
You know the thing.
Here's what I want to know, man.
Okay.
Who was it that was able to stick it with us for this 3.5 hour show, my friend?
We actually gained a few people from the start of that conversation to now, by the way. We gained 2. I checked it. We were at 5 when we started that conversation. We're now at 7.
All right. Well, what do you say we end this conversation, seeing we've been on here for 3 hours and 29 minutes?
Oh, good golly. That's how you know it's a good conversation, when I'm not complaining about the time.
Yeah, I've had fun here tonight, man. I've had a really good time, and I've had really good in-depth conversations, is what we do here at the Hebros Edge and Keith's Dad show. So
I don't know about you. I guess I mean, I'm just here for the green M&Ms.
Oh, yeah. Well, you've ate most of those already. So I'm going to have to stock up the next time we do a show. I have to go get more green M&Ms. And you don't know what a pain that is, because I got to sift through all the regular M&Ms just to get to the green ones.
Yeah, it must be a daunting task for the most powerful man in the universe, but I digress.
Right. So let's see who we've had in here tonight. Starting from the bottom here, we've had Michael Fontaine.
Michael
Fontaine.
Michael Fontaine. And Scarab Performances in here. Good old Beetle Man himself. Milo Fire, or is it Milo Fire? Ooh, I don't know.
I'm going to go with Milo.
Lotar 900. Let's see. Scrolling.
You know, he's your third favorite Canadian, by the way.
Yes, my third favorite. Wait, I thought he was my second favorite Canadian. Who's my favorite?
That's right, my third. He's my third. You're second. I always get that confused. You're right.
I know, for some reason. We got Honest Hunter Hiding. Eddie Von Kuhn, the real one with a wrench. Let's see here. Bone breaking action.
Great. You made me spill my coffee. Thanks a lot, man.
Well, it happens. You know, you get that. You know, that's why they put the warnings on the cups now, you know.
Yeah, I know. I got foam breaking action.
Right. Solomon was here as well. Scrolling on up here. Oh, I think Connie Joe Wood was nice enough to be here at the very beginning. And of course, as you all know, we had Jennifer Richardson. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Keith's dad was in the chat. Hey, Keith's dad. Good to see you in there. And that's all I see for right now. So if we got any lurkers and I didn't call you out, well, then you know why. Because you're lurking and you're so good at it, I didn't see you. You hit on me like a ninja in a movie where it's nighttime all the time, and that whole entire movie, and it's never day.
Yep.
And behind the TV.
Yep. Yeah, you know, Keith's dad, he's always sporting plaid.
Oh, hey, I gotta say, Michael Fontaine, like I'm in a Godzilla movie. Hideyoki Aizawa Michael Fontaine.
There you go.
I'm gonna say it like I'm Godzilla and he's in the movie.
I'm going to say it like I just stepped outside and then I heard a weird noise, but at the same time, I saw Michael Fontaine peeping out from behind a fence. All right, here it goes. The hell is that noise? Oh my God, is that Michael Fontaine? I'll go back inside.
Yeah. I'm going to say it like I'm pointing at Godzilla and I'm screaming to Michael Fontaine to get out of the way, but you can't hear me because of the fighter jet that flew past. Hey, get out of the way, Michael. What day?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Keithstead. I'm sure you
All
have
right.
one.
I'm gonna say it like I tried a new teleporter machine and got stuck in it with a fly and turned into a fly myself.
All right. That's it.
Help me! Help me! No, don't eat me, Michael Fontaine.
All right. Well, nobody's going to top that, so I think that's the closer right there.
I have one last.
You do? Oh, I digress. Go right on ahead, my friend.
I'm gonna say it as though, dang it, I had a good one. Now mine's not so good, but I'm gonna say it like a crazy man running into a doorknob at full speed, and the doorknob goes straight in my belly just as I'm shouting Michael Fontaine.
Why didn't you just say I'm going to do it like what it sounds like when I run into a doorknob?
I don't know. Maybe some people in the audience won't get that reference.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, go ahead.
Michael Fontaine. There we go.
Yep. That was a good closer. I'm not even going to attempt another one after those two.
All right, cool. Well, gentlemen, it's been one hell of a show. And I got to say, tomorrow night is going to be an even better show. No, I don't know if it could beat this one, but it will be a pretty damn good show, because tomorrow night will be our spectacular, ever so lovely Star Trek The Next Generation stop motion marathon. So there you go.
Did you say you're going to have the Star Trek stop motion movie marathon?
Wait.
Oh, number one, I have ton.
We also got to mention, guys, start watching your season 3 Star Trek Next Generation, so that we can all have a good conversation.
Yeah, episode 3. Season 3. Yeah.
Season 3.
Yeah. It's all part of the Star Trek stop motion movie marathon.
You know the thing.
I had to add that on there.
Oh, of course. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's enough hype and hoopla to get everybody excited. If they're not excited by now, my friend, they're never going to be excited.
Oh, we need to mention the time, though. When did we want to do this?
Didn't we say it was Tuesday?
Well, what's like time? Like 8 o'clock?
No. I meant for the Star Trek The Next Generation stop motion marathon.
Oh, tomorrow at 4 in the morning. That gives you 2.5 hours of sleep.
No, I don't think so.
All right, tomorrow 4 in the morning, the Star Trek movie stop motion marathon.
I mean, I'm good for 8, 9 my time, 8 your time, Hebrew.
I would say more like 8 my time, 9 your time.
Okay.
All right.
What do you think, Saji?
Well, yeah, your place or mine. That's what I always say. Wait, no, never mind.
I just hope you guys have had plenty of coffee, smoked plenty of cigarettes, and don't forget to drink your Red Bull, because it's going to be one hell of a night.
Roll credits.
Yeah.
What do you mean one hell of a night? You mean when we watch the Star Trek stop motion movie marathon?
Yes. I mean, when we would. Okay, no, never mind. No, but fellers, I'll let you guys both go with your final thoughts, and then I will close the show with my final thoughts.
All right, I'll go first. I'll go first.
All right, cool.
Free will is a myth. No, I'm joking. I just what you said.
God knew you were going to say that before you even said it.
He did. It is respectful because I am Christian. I do consider myself Christian. So I'm torn on that. But the idea is I'm on a we're all on a personal journey, and so every day you learn something new. And so Zaji got something that I got to think about now, FYI. So I'll be looking that up. But yes, thank you guys for the conversation, and that's awesome. You're right up my neck of the woods with those kind of topics. So but thank you everybody, and have a great night.
All right. Well, you know what? It's been a real pleasure being here with both of you guys. Keystad, it's always great having you on the show here with us. I hope you do know that no matter how many times we ever disagree, I will always welcome you back unconditionally, because you're always a great add to the program. You always bring it, my friend. You're a positive person. You always got something clever and witty to say, and it's just always a good having you on the show, my friend. So
I'm gonna cry now. Thank you, Saji.
Yeah. You're welcome. And then Hebrew, I didn't realize you were the most powerful man in the universe until today. I was today years old when I learned that.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm glad to see everybody that joined us again. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. I know we had fun, and I think I learned a little something here tonight too. Or I just was, I guess, exposed to new perspectives that I'd never even conceived before. Let's just put it that way. And I don't know. Had a good time. Thank everybody for being here. And that's all I got, my friend.
All right. Well, with that being said, it's been a fun show, but we must go. We'll see all you guys tomorrow night at 8 Central, 9 Eastern, for our very special Star Trek The Next Generation stop motion movie marathon. Good night, everybody.
Number one, I have.
Whoops, wrong one.
Hand grenade pins are not that complicated. You just pull them out like this. No way! Uh-oh. Shit. Heaven ain't that bad this time of year. Who says we're going to heaven? Do.
That's all, folks.
Well, that does it for tonight's show. It's been real, and it's been fun. And yes, it's even been real fun. But as all good things do, they must end. But remember, there will always be another show. Well, at least I hope there'll be another show. As long as my internet keeps going and I'm still alive, I guess there'll be another show. But anyway, until next time, remember that snakes don't always bite. But when they do bite, oh, brother, it really hurts. So long, everybody. Ha ha. Yeah. Hey, do you like this music? It's completely free. Oh yeah. Dig that jam. Ha ha. See ya.